go. Unexpected, victorious Tornado Energy.
2016 Wargaming League World Champions.
Hello and welcome to the WGL. I'm butchering it today, Alex. Welcome to the WGL APAC. My name is Max Rogi for Foglia. Joining me, of course, is Alex Go Gadgets Blakey, and
Good to
we
be
have
here.
the online playoffs ahead of us. I'm just so excited. I was stepping all over my own words.
It's an
today.
exciting time, Max. It's a very exciting time, of course, here at WGL APAC. We have got our playoffs in store for everyone today, so we'll be finding out who, at the end of today, will be heading to our Season 2 finals in Taipei, of course, and they're coming up very soon as well. But, of course, we have got our standings coming into today. They haven't changed too much in the last few weeks of the season, and of course today the teams 3 through 6, they're the ones that are, have been qualified into the playoffs and will be playing today, or at least would have been playing today. Meltdown, of course, had a little forfeit, so their match against Karen Tiger will not be played. That means that Karen Tiger will be moving through, but overall, Horsemen and B-Gaming, they've been looking pretty strong this season. Horsemen particularly, B-Gaming, they've been kind of stepping it up a little bit after the mouse changes, but overall it's going to be a big struggle.
That's exactly right. You can see Dark Wolves and Horsemen, they're out, unfortunately. All the teams have cast their die, and this is where they lay. And like you mentioned, we got a great game coming up for you guys. Horsemen taking on B-Gaming, and not a lot to be said about that game. And of course, of the other game, unfortunately, like you said, it was Meltdown, who, due to not being able to field a full roster, opted to forfeit out of that. Unfortunate to say the least. Would have loved to have seen them go all the way. I was rooting for him secretly, Alex, in a non-biased way, but of course, the rest of the teams, EL Gaming and Team Efficiency, they've secured their spots in the grand finals.
That's
basically
exactly in the Season 2 finals. Yeah, that's it. So EL Gaming and Team Efficiency, they're who we've really got to look out for in the Season 2 finals. I mean, obviously they're the ones that are already through, and they've both been playing so well this season. And I suppose on the other flip side of the card, we look at these kind of third till sixth teams, and although they're obviously not in those first two spots, they do actually get sort of this extra days worth of practice. So, that you could look at that and say, well, okay, yeah, they're not doing so well, but they might have a bit of an edge because they get to play this best of 13 format. I doubt any of the other teams are going to be playing best of 13 in scrim. So, it could be a bit of a leg up for those teams who are a little bit lower on the ladder.
Well, let's be real, they need it, right? EL and Efficiency have been looking on fire the entire season long. So any advantage that Horsemen, Karen Tiger, or B-Gaming can get here tonight would be much needed going into those finals at Taipei.
Yeah, definitely. And the Taipei finals, of course, held at the Eco Arc Centre. It's a centre that's made out of millions of recycled plastic bottles, Max.
Really?
It is, absolutely. And it is like one of the first kind of green green event centres. It's a really amazing building. So look, those finals should be absolutely special. I can't wait to see them. So,
well, good to see the tanks going green. Of course, we have tonight's bracket up and available for you guys. Like we mentioned, unfortunately, Meltdown couldn't field their entire roster, so they've opted to take the forfeit to Karen Tiger. So Karen Tiger, congratulations to them. They're making it all the way through to the finals in Taipei. But tonight, our first game of the match, Horsemen versus B-Gaming. These guys are both vying for that last invitation, that last golden ticket available, Alex.
Yeah, that's it.
B-Gaming, they're going to have their work cut out for them tonight.
Absolutely. It's not going to be easy here for B-Gaming up against the Horsemen. And, I mean, look, they do, even if they do win their game here against the Horsemen, or if Horsemen win against them, then there is still another game, and that is the game against Karen Tiger that we're playing tonight. And that game on the right there, that determines seeding, which, if we recall back to the Season 1 finals, seeding, very, very important. So if you're one of these teams, you're really, in my eyes, not looking to go up against EL Gaming. You know, you don't want to be facing that number one seed. So both of these matches tonight, very, very important, and you know, can play a big impact on the team's final results of the season.
Well, that's it, right? We call it seeding, they call it how best to avoid EL gaming before the grand finals, and every team's going to be looking to potentially get that option. Still, team efficiency, not a team to turn your nose up. I'm sure they are just as dangerous as EL. Maybe not so much, but both these guys are going to be able to sit back this week and enjoy, watch the game, study their opponents, and really get an idea of what they can be expecting in the finals.
That's it, absolutely. So look, I'm sure these teams have been studying each other over the last week or so, because we did end our regular season last week, and that ended with a bit of a bang. We kind of were expecting maybe another team efficiency win over EL Gaming. That didn't end up happening, but it's definitely set EL Gaming in a good stead for their match in the finals in Taipei. So, you know, it's interesting coming into this week as well, because we do see teams like B Gaming. They're not looking too strong. They lost, you know, most of their matches over the last 10 games. They've only won 3. Really not looking strong this season. And I wonder how much of it was because of their roster changes that they implemented into the start of the season. I mean, we take a look at their roster here, and, you know, some of these guys were new at the start of the season. And
definitely.
They lost a few good ones. And not only that, not only have they had some new additions to their roster and kind of swaps around like that, but also they've changed up their roles. So Til Matil here, who was always that kind of stalwart light tech tier 8 player in season 1, this season he's dropped into more of a tier 10 role, and, you know, maybe hasn't worked out so well for B Gaming.
I agree. It's definitely the David in this David versus Goliath matchup right now, and they have their work cut up for them, really. I don't know if what we'll be seeing out of Til Matil tonight, like you said, playing those tier 10s as opposed to the tier 8s. He did such a great job in the tier 8, so I've never quite gotten my head around why he decides to go back and put his shoes in the tier 10s. It's not that he's bad at it, it's just that the other players on his team can't make the tier 8 shine the way that he does.
Yeah, exactly. So when we take a look at their opponents tonight, of course, is the Horsemen, and they're quite a strong squad. I mean, we look to Sphinx, of course, the old EL Gaming member. Flag was his name in season 1. He's come over to the Horsemen this season. He's posted some really good results. As well as that, you know, we look to Spencer, great tier 8 player of the Horsemen. And Desu's been playing quite well as well. Hokia, look, the Horsemen, they have a good bunch of players that can really step up when they need to. So that's what's been winning them the battles this season, and has ended them up with a 3rd position ladder spot.
No, I agree. Definitely pound for pound, the Horsemen players just completely outranking those of B Gaming. And tonight's head-to-head, we see Archon up against Happiness. These guys, both Batchat players, so we'll see how they find themselves in this new mouse meta. I'm sure they've had a lot of time to acclimatize themselves to it, but nevertheless, I've seen players not take too kindly, not doing too much in their Batchats.
Yeah.
And it's just an iron wall of mouse.
Yeah, well, exactly. So here, look, Archon, he's one of my favourite players from the Horsemen as well. I mean, 1847 average damage dealt. Obviously, that's been bumped up a little bit since the introduction of the mouses, but still very, very solid player. And Happiness, I mean, look, those aren't bad stats, but, you know, I think B Gaming's biggest impact player is normally Yusa Shanpower. Happiness, he's the man that kind of can perform a really good kind of secondary carry role.
Yeah, wouldn't this be an amazing game for B Game if they are able to pull off a win here? Because just looking at the last time these teams went up against each other, it's always gone in Horsemen's favor. The first time, actually, 4-5 going towards Horsemen. They won that one just by a round, but all the subsequent games they've played, 5-2, 5-0, B Gaming just are appearing to get worse and worse, or maybe Horsemen just getting better and better here, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, this one's going to be an interesting one. Of course, it is a best of 13 format. So for those of you that may have been watching throughout this season and, you know, used to our best of 9s, I think we're used to our best of 9s as well. Well, we've got something a little bit more chunky for you tonight.
A lot more bang for your buck.
A lot more bang for your buck, exactly. And that is the best of 13 format where, well, essentially there's more tanks to watch. There's more tanks, there's more maps, all of that fun stuff. Although in saying that, Max, in saying that it is a best of 13 format, but we could actually have it end as fast as a best of 9 if it goes the way that we're all predicting it to go.
Yeah, look, we've gone for the 7-1 across the board, of course, favouring Horsemen in this one. Look, and I don't think the stats lie. Horsemen clearly the better team over B Gaming at the moment. It would be an absolute miracle for B Gaming to take this over Horsemen and win with the upset. Of course, like you mentioned, it all comes down to, is Yushishan Power firing? Because when he's on top of the game, he's on top of the entire leaderboard here. And while we got the maps up on your screen, we'll be able to run you through the pick and ban phase and how these guys went around it.
Okay, so of course in the best of 13 format, only 2 vetoes, 1 from each team. Cliff taken out by the Horsemen. I think that's, I mean, okay. Like, they're actually okay on it, and B Gaming are terrible on it, but whatever. Muravanka taken out by B Gaming. Very strange because it's actually one of their best maps. So that's a little bit strange there, statistically.
Already to a little bit
you'd want to take out Ghost Town or Steps if you're a B Gaming because they're very bad at them. But Ghost Town, first pick from Horsemen, lovely pick there. Mines next up from B Gaming. Of course, Mines. B Gaming aren't bad on Mines at all. Steps from B Gaming, very strange. They've only got a 23% win rate on Steps. So to see them pick that third or second in terms of their picks is confusing. Maybe they have a different strategy on it.
I really hope so, because they're definitely going to need something new and improved to go up against the Horsemen tonight. Of course, Himmels will be after that. We've been seeing a lot of back and forth coming from Himmels defenders, just, you know, knuckling down and trying to outlast their opponents.
Himmels is a map that anyone can win, you know, so I'm not too fussed with that. I think the Horsemen, they're quite good on Himmelsdorf. Fair enough. Ruinberg by B Gaming, it's not a bad map for them. You know, it's not a great map. They don't have too many great maps, but it's okay. Prokhorovka there for the Horsemen as well as a last pick. They're good on the proc defense, the Horsemen, but do seem to struggle on the Prokhorovka attack a little bit. But,
yeah, Proc's been one of those interesting maps where we do see the attackers now seem to struggle a lot more than they used to. And that's just a byproduct of having such a big HP pool to get through, and a lot of kind of difficult approaches that they have to make, whether they want to go over the big cliff on the right or try and come through the forest. There's just not a lot.
Yeah, look, Prokhorovka's interesting now that we have Mouses, and you never know whether you're actually going to run into Mouses or not, or just run into, you know, a lineup of bat chats or medium tanks. So it is tricky to pick for Prokhorovka, but here we go. We have our full map lineup.
Right, so how do we see this one going? Goes down for Horsemen. It's a great map for them. I can see them. Yep, 2-0ing it. Mine's probably 1-1. I'd say B Gaming, this is where they can start to make their stand.
I think B Gaming, they need to 2-0 Mines if they want to have any chance in this store, because the Horsemen are actually really bad on Mines, particularly Mines attack.
Yeah.
So that one, I actually think that's where B Gaming will pick up their 1, and let's call it a 1-1. Maybe Horsemen will be able to win the defense, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that as a 2-0. Steps there.
Probably a 2-0.
2-0 to Horsemen. Himmelsdorf, probably a 2-0 to Horsemen again. Ruinberg, Horsemen could finish it off there, I reckon.
I think you've hit the money right there, Alex. If B Gaming want to have any chance in this, it's got to be on Mines. They've got to get some rounds on Himmels. Like you said, either team probably has a good chance of winning Himmels just due to the way that it plays out. And that's where B Gaming need to get it. But realistically, there's the map pool just doesn't favour them. And it's never going to favour them, really.
That's the issue, yeah. B Gaming, not a strong team in terms of the map pool this season. They had a much bigger map pool last season, but yeah, that, like, you look through all of their stats and it is just red all across the board for B Gaming. Yeah. So it's not great, but yeah, look, if B Gaming come out firing, if Yushishan Power's on point, you know, if Happiness is playing well, then fair enough. I think they can do something. But overall, my prediction is going to be 7-1. I just think Horsemen are too strong for them at the moment.
Yeah, even though we do give B Gaming a lot of credit on Mines, Horsemen, they're no slouches either. So I think that if B Gaming are going to get around, it's only 1, and it's going to be on Mines, Horsemen to 7-1. And I'm sure Jordan, as he has, agrees with us.
Exactly. There you go. So, well, let us know, guys, if you think this match might be a little bit different. Maybe you're a B Gaming fan. Let us know with hashtag WGL APAC on Twitter and get involved with the conversation. Make sure you're watching from wgl.gg/watch as well, because we've got a few little fun quests on stream today with a few good prizes. But, well, I think that we're getting ready to jump into our first map, and we've got to think about what tanks we're going to be seeing here on Ghost Town. Obviously, it is a close quarter city map, generally speaking, so would be expecting maybe a few Mouses, a few Type 5 heavies thrown in there, maybe even a few T57s, which aren't too bad against the Mouses these days. Fun fact for everyone, the T57 heavy, its win rate's actually jumped up quite a bit since the introduction of the mouse patch. So it just does better against them, you know?
Well, that's the thing. It used to be the AMX 50B that ran the streets of Ghost Town, but now we're seeing new kids on the block really starting to throw their weight around. And no one throws its weight around as much as the mouse. But of course, something that B-Gaming have really struggled with when we watch them playing Ghost Town is they don't know, well, it's not that they don't know how to, they just can never execute it well enough to trade back. We see the Mousers kind of just sitting still, and it's always, whatever B-Gaming, they're firing back, but they're just not penetrating their shots. They're not getting solid damage on the board.
Yeah, that's the issue for B-Gaming, and I think after their losses last week to Dark Wolves and the Coalition Zoo, out of all the teams, I mean, they've really got to have turned it around from last week to have a remote chance here against the Horsemen, because, I mean, you know, look, coming off losses to those two teams, the bottom teams on the ladder, going up now against the team that's just down from team efficiency and EL Gaming. I mean, these guys aren't going to be mucking around to get the Horsemen, so I would be really impressed to see something like a 7-0 from the Horsemen. I don't think we're going to be seeing a 7-0. I just think there is a remote possibility.
We got to remember this is everything, right? This is the entire season on the line for Horsemen.
Exactly.
So up against a team like B-Gaming, I think that they're going to be not holding anything back. There's no risk. There's no reason that they should take a risk in going into this game and maybe not take it as seriously as they were up against EL, Team Efficiency, or Karen Tiger. Because this is their ticket. This is their ticket to Taiwan.
Exactly. So here we go, Horsemen and B-Gaming. We've got the Mousers there for the Horsemen side. AMX 50B, Batchat 113 and RU251. So really, in fact, both sides going very standard here on Ghost Town. Nothing too crazy, just 3 Mousers, a couple of auto loaders. The only difference is B-Gaming on the attack, going to be going with those tier 9 heavy tanks, the WZ111s. Look, very solid tank. It can trade well. You know, it can almost trade with the mouse, like in terms of damage actually traded. Of course, it's going to lose in the end because it doesn't have 3200 HP, but not a bad lineup there for either team. You know, very cookie cutter. We're not going to see too much crazy stuff happening. You know, the Horsemen, they could use Sphinx and Spencer maybe to rotate down the bottom, at least Sphinx, and try and get some flanks happening. B-Gaming, they could do that with Happiness as well.
No, tonight is definitely the night to put aside all those crazy schemes and crazy antics and just play it standard by the book. Spencer gets a good spot out onto Happiness and Tacky and doesn't take any damage for his trouble. Happiness already a couple of damage modules there, so he's got to be careful.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice little early pick onto the driver of Happiness's Batchat there. It's not the end of the world, of course, for B-Gaming, but you know, every little advantage does end up adding up. Spencer going to be trying the boost as well.
I like it. Gets the early scout, gets a few marks here and there. Now he's just going to go back to the boost and still make the RU251 viable.
Yep, the RU251 being up on that boost there, of course, it does let him to spot out this one flag. So if Tilmatil does try and get onto that flag and start getting a cap happening, then the RU251 should be able to get some relatively easy resets on there.
Yeah, they know that he's probably up there, since considering that they saw some of the debris get exploded, but already 3 tanks on the cap here for B-Gaming. We'll have to see how Horsemen answer. They've already got their Mousers in position for B-Gaming as well, so Horsemen, they might have to take a little bit more damage than they would want to try and get a reset here.
Yeah, this is a good kind of fast cap strategy here from B-Gaming, really pushing the point by putting 3 tanks on the cap. Now, Spencer, he's really going to want to hope for a reset here. 20 seconds left, and the Horsemen aren't in the perfect position to get this reset either, so this could be a bit dangerous here for the Horsemen.
Yeah, Spencer really needs to start getting some of these shots out, but already a lot of time onto these tanks, so if he doesn't get anything soon, we could just see B-Gaming take the first round right here, right now. It's 2 seconds, 1 second, 0 seconds. Oh, in the nick of time, they get the reset up to 25 seconds, but look at the damage across the board. Spencer and OBOV have copped a few shots here and there, but kind of traded back onto B-Gaming as well.
Yeah, there we go, Gorilla. I'm not sure if he was firing HE or not there, but only dealt 200 damage to Colin. And this is looking a little bit worse for the Horsemen right now. They're not trading quite as effectively. As I say that, though, look at who they're targeting. Great move. Bursting down Yusashan Power in his mouse, taking him down to 597 HP already.
Well, first tank off the field. That's OBOV out of the fight. One of the WZ111's picked him up. Now Gorilla in the firing line. He's just staring down the barrel of 2 loaded Mausers. They are able to take out Usha Power eventually, but the damage may have been dealt because now B Gaming are back on the objective and they still have 20 seconds left to take this one out. Where are the resets coming through?
Yeah, there we go. Another reset coming in from Nandesu there, but he's not going to be trading too well against Happiness. Again, 10 seconds left on the cap, so there's just so much pressure.
I don't think anyone's in position to do it, Alex. I think B Gaming have taken this.
Yeah, look, Nandesu, he's in a 113. He might be able to just get across there.
There we go.
Oh, and it looks like B Gaming are maybe going to be coming off the cap right now and just trying to finish Horsemen off through a damage victory.
Yeah, I think they can with 4 tanks left on the field for Horsemen. Archon, Nandesu, both now in the firing line. They're going to get taken out. Quick smart, actually, but Shinozaki overstays his welcome. He goes down. That's another kill for Archon. Happiness forces a 4 versus 4 right now. But the AMX-50B is on reload. Nandesu's just going to try and stall for as long as he can against Tiltil. And Hokia's made his way back through, so they should be able to trade the WZ out.
Yeah, there we go. But look at that. Hokia, his ammo rack is actually damaged, so he's going to be taking so long to reload those shots. And he did just go for the ram there on Tiltil, but I don't really think that was worth it.
Oh, the 50B's off reload and come back into the fight. They still have a bat shot, undamaged, full ammo on Sphinx. Got to be careful not to take a few more of them. That could spell disaster. If they can get the AMX-50B out of the fight, that would be huge. Taki goes down. 2 versus 3. Could Horsemen have potentially turned this around, Alex?
Oh, I don't know, but look at that. Sphinx, he does have his ammo rack damage, so he's not going to be able to get too many more reloads off on that clip. He does manage to put most of it into Riku-san, but again, at the end of the day, it's a mouse. You know, putting a clip into it doesn't do that much, so... The issue now for B Gaming, though, is that there's 2 Mausers left. And, oh, that was good, though. Really important shot onto Hokiao. Hokiao needed to have actually blocked that shot from Colin.
Look, this ammo rack is just really paying dividends for B Gaming right now because Hokiao, he just can't get his shots off in time.
Well.
And Colin doesn't land it. Riku-san gets it, though, but finds himself down 400 HP. In the meanwhile, if Archon can burst him out here, he needs one more shot. He has one more to work with. It needs to pen it. No, he doesn't. That could be the game right there, Alex.
Oh, but look at that. Sphinx is coming in from behind with the bat chat.
They are able to get a kill. 2 versus 1 right now.
Yeah, this is really tense. I mean, look, the Horsemen are actually on the defense. So if you're the Horsemen, they don't actually need to go to this fight if it's not favourable for them.
I think Sphinx has just realised that.
Yeah.
He goes for the reload, indicating that he's not going to fight anytime soon, and Archon just backs away. The mouse with terrible view range is not going to be able to spot out any of these tanks. So he's kind of just destined to go for a cap victory here.
He's got no other option. I mean, he's not going to catch a bat chat and an AMX-50B and a mouse. So really, all that Colin can do is sit on the cap, hope that he gets a shot against Archon when Archon tries to peek him, and just hope that he ricochets enough shells from Spencer. But of course, we all know, bat chat versus mouse, the issue is if the bat chat can get close enough,
get behind him,
then he can just clip out Colin, you know? Bat chat's got 5 shots, about 400 damage each, so he can, I mean, with good enough rolls, he can miss one of those shots or not pen one of those shots and still have enough in that clip to take down Colin.
It could go either way right now. If Colin finds a good shot onto Archon, could be good. 3.5 minutes left on the clock. The cap, 1 minute 30 till victory, but I highly doubt that Horsemen will let him be able to get a cap victory. They just need one shot from anywhere, and they've split up quite far because that's the downside that B Gaming have right now is they can't watch more than one direction at once.
Yep, exactly. That's the issue here for Colin. And look, he's done a good job of kind of maybe trying to use these trees, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to camo a mouse. And Sphinx there actually playing a little bit dangerous.
He's got to be careful.
Colin misses. So yeah, at the end of the day now, all that's going to happen, AMX-50B is going to come behind, and honestly, they're probably just going to take him out and seal the deal now.
Yeah, Sphinx knows his limits. Just keeping the attention of the mouse at the moment. We should see Archon come around any second now. He's going to get up close.
Oh, Colin's missed it as well.
Yep.
Colin's missed the shot.
So let's connect with that one at least, but I think it's too late for Colin to be Gaming. A very valiant effort. That game was super close, and I really liked the opening push out of B Gaming. I thought they played that phenomenally. It was just, they got it to 0 seconds, right? But that's the thing. The cap victory. 0 seconds, basically just 1 counting down to 0, right?
Exactly, exactly. That was honestly a lot closer than I expected it to be from B Gaming.
B Gaming aren't messing around either, Alex. It's very important to them.
You know that B Gaming on their Ghost Town attack which is what that was, they actually have a 10% win rate on. 10%. So to me, seeing B Gaming pull up so well, you know, almost take the win, pretty much. Like, they almost took the cat win, and then they almost took the win in the ensuing fight. So seeing them do that well on a map which is so bad for them, it is literally their worst map in the entire pool, like, we could have a real match in our hands.
Yeah, it feels like the training weights are off right now. B Gaming, they didn't look like the old things that inhibited that team are still there. They look like a completely revitalized squad, but I guess that's what happens when you have so much on the line, so much promise to play towards. And right now, ticket to Taipei, ticket to the finals, they want that. They need that. That's why they're playing tanks, mate.
Absolutely, they definitely want that. And, you know, B Gaming, let's not forget, they were the team that came to our Season 1 finals last year here in the Sydney studios. And also, they were the team that went to the Challengers Rumble in New York. So, you know, they came into this season, Season 2, expecting, or at least, you know, being expected to do so well and to really, you know, still fight it out with the best of, you know, the WGL APAC tankers, but they haven't really done that this season. So that's why this matters so much. If they can kind of bounce back now in these playoffs, if they can take out this match against the Horsemen, then that just silences everyone. Because at the end of the day, 100%. If you still make it to the finals, you know, that's all you need to do. You need to make it to the finals to you know.
In a best of 13, no one can chalk that up to a lucky day, right? You have so many opportunities to either close out a game or come back into a game here. So after this, it will be clear which team deserved to make it on through. And B Gaming already showing up much more than we anticipated, especially on a side that they only have a 10% winner on. So coming into this next half, I want to see how Horsemen play it. I want to see how B Gaming play the defense. Will they go for the Udes? Will they go for something similar with the IU-251? It didn't work out for Horsemen at all. Like that IU-251, we were watching it for about 30 seconds. He was shooting, not connecting with any shots. Cost his team, not cost them anything, but kind of, you know, a bit of a shaky start.
Was a bit of a shaky start, absolutely. Look, but at the end of the day, it is a start. Maybe you know, Horsemen not warmed up so much. There's a lot of factors that can come into it, but at the end of the day, Yusuf Shampower got taken out first as well. So with Yusuf Shan out of the picture, that was just really smart. I'm not sure if the Horsemen meant to do that, take out Yusuf Shan first, but it was a good move.
Yeah, so pretty much the back end of this game, and thought that shot could have potentially had it one and done for B Gaming, but Sphinx, he was just in the right place, right time, hit his shot in the right area too, and you can see poor Colin in such a difficult position. 5.2k damage though, and that's what happens when you're the last mouse left alive.
Yeah. So good stuff there from Colin, and Archon there in the AMX-50B.
Oh, wow.
4.4k damage. Sphinx there, Bat Chant 4k damage.
Super high damage game. I think like what Horsemen ended the game with like 450 HP. So when you got 3 mouses per team, it's going to be a really high damage game.
Yep, that's right. So overall, some good damage numbers there across the board. It's good to see B Gaming, you know, up there as well, and good to see Colin kind of staying up the top of the damage charts. Although Yusuf Shampower, unfortunately, he's normally the one up the top for B Gaming. And
nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen because he got taken out first. So, yeah, right. Well, in 10th position. He didn't live that long, so to deal 1,500 damage
it's impressive.
It's actually pretty good for the amount of time that Yusuf Shampower was actually alive. So that's why he's dangerous. Till Matil in that WZ. You know, we've criticised him a little bit, but that's 2.2k damage. Can't complain about that.
And that's the thing, right? He excels when he's in those lesser
tier
9s.
Yeah,
tier 9s,
exactly,
tier 8s, he's doing well. But when he's in the tier 10s, I feel again, it's not that he can't play the tier 10s well. It's just the other people in the team can't play the 9 and 8s, and that's where the team struggle, right?
Yep, exactly. So, look, Til Matil, I'm definitely hoping that he does stay for more of that into more of that tier 8 or 9 role in this matchup. You know, there is still a chance that B Gaming could put him in the tier 8s. Of course, B Gaming now, they're going to be on the defense here on Ghost Town, so we are going to be seeing something like the RU251 or maybe, you know, an Udes if they want to go a little bit more I don't want to say old school because the RU251 is really old school, but if they want to take a step back in time
Yeah.
to when the UDES just came out, because the UDES, of course, on the Ghost Town defense,
Pretty much ran Ghost Town
pretty
defense.
good. It's a very solid tank still, I believe, on the Ghost Town defense, even with the Mouses.
Just bigger targets to shoot at.
Yeah. Look, it can still do work. It's a little bit less versatile than something like the RU251.
That's true.
But we saw there, the RU251 struggled at the start to even get the reset, and that almost cost Horsemen the game.
Look, you're exactly right, and I don't know how that happened, considering just what the position that he was in and the whole point they picked it. They just can't have that happening again. Bit of a blunder on the side of Horsemen to allow the cap victory to get so close. Is that something that if they had the RU251, which bit more accurate, could have potentially avoided?
Yeah, if they had the UDES instead of the RU, I
sorry,
think that, I mean, it definitely would have helped, because the issue there with the RU251 was that RNG, which at the end of the day, that does happen sometimes, and you can't rely solely on that tier 8 light tank.
No.
The UDES, of course, more accurate than the RU251. It's got more penetration than the RU251, so it does increase your chances of being able to get that cap reset on the one flag.
Yeah, curious to see what Horsemen go for on the attack this time. Is the one flag, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. We have seen teams completely just snatch a victory away from nothing, essentially. But the majority, it's teams that force the enemies to come through to them on the 2 flag. They set up that kind of wall in one of the side lanes on the 2 flag, and then the other team, they have to come in eventually. They surround them with either the Batshats or the T57 Heavies or the 50Bs. Curious to see how Horsemen go for it, though.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Oh, well, I guess we'll find out very soon with the tank picks between these two teams.
Yeah.
I mean, on the attack, maybe the Horsemen want to go for something a little bit different as well. Let's find out.
Yeah, don't have to wait too much longer here. And
Ooh,
once again, B
okay.
Gaming going for the WZs.
Yeah,
Horsemen,
that's interesting for B Gaming. So B Gaming going for the full kind of brawl composition. They don't really care about the one flag so much in terms of just trading it out. They really want to brawl, B Gaming.
Yeah.
Horsemen, though, they also really want to brawl because they've got 4 Mouses, a T57 Heavy, great at brawling, Batchat for a bit of flanking action, and that RU251 to scout things out. So I think that RU251 could prove quite valuable here for the Horsemen if they use it well. Spencer in that one going to be able to get some early scouts off.
Yep.
The Batchat there as well. Great for getting some flanks. It's going to be played by Sphinx, I'd assume. Yep. OBOV there, just getting
Needs a
pushed.
kickstart, needs a jump start. His engine ran out. Flat batteries here, but Horsemen already up 1 round over B Gaming in a much closer start than we anticipated for this series, but quite a widespread for B Gaming at the moment. Spencer doing his own little take on a boost.
Yeah, he's giving it a crack there, is old mate Spencer. Well, it looks like he will be able to make it up. That's, I think that one's the fairly easy boost.
Looked easy, but they always look easy.
They always make it look easy, exactly. And it never is.
Yeah, he'll be able to just spot out any flanks that B Gaming decide to do. And like you mentioned, they want to brawl the W1, the double WZ 111s. Try saying that one. Will definitely indicate how B Gaming decide they want to play this.
Yeah, so right now, Happiness there in the bat chat. He is just going to be hiding behind that bush. Not too sure how much camo that particular bush provides, being quite bare. But, I wouldn't put my tank behind it.
No,
Happiness is
a bit
obviously
more foliage.
Yeah, you want a few more leaves on it, I think.
I feel like leaves are a luxury and Ghost Town. It's a
Yeah.
bit of a desolate map here. And when you got old mates like Archon destroying what there is left of it, then you can see why they don't plant more.
Exactly. So right now, bit of a stalemate between both of these teams. Horsemen not wanting to push in yet, not wanting to commit to anything. B Gaming, it's quite a spread defensive setup.
Yeah,
They've got Tacky all the way out there in the AMX 50B and F1, which is interesting. So I think the best case here for B Gaming is if the Horsemen push up to the 2 flag, then B Gaming are in a pretty good position to defend that 2 flag.
That's pretty much what Horsemen are left with here, because they're obviously not going for the 1 flag push into Zacket. We'll be able to cover that one off in his WZ. And Horsemen, they don't really, looking at their position, they're not really poised for anything just yet. They're kind of mirroring B Gaming setup. Got a few tanks scattered in and out, and I think maybe they were expecting a B gaming flank. Maybe they thought the WZs would try to catch someone out and force the fight. So they wanted everyone in a good position to retaliate. But looks like they're moving Undersu and Sphinx back over. Maybe go for that death ball.
Yeah, could try for the death ball. Who knows? But right now, Undersu going to be pushing up a little bit towards near that 2 flag. Colin there with a few God rays shining on him. Looking across towards that 2 flag as well.
Hopefully illuminating his path to the finals.
Yes, hopefully. But yeah, so just past 3 minutes gone now, and I mean, Big Gaming, they don't really need to move, I guess. They haven't spotted too much out yet. And that's one of the weaknesses of this B Gaming lineup, is because they don't actually have any scouts aside from sort of Happiness. And they might be a little bit blind when the first push comes in from the Horsemen. But they should be able to make up for it. They should be able to...
Yeah, it looks like they're going heavy down that H line. You can see Nundasu and Sphinx are rotating over. Archon has been spotted, so B Gaming should have enough time to come up with a decision on how they want to retaliate here. And I'd be terrified if I was in my car and saw that drive past.
Yeah, exactly. But it's driving past now. Now this is why we see Taki up here. He's able to get some nice flanking shots in towards the sides of the Horsemen as they move up that little road there near the 2 flag.
Nundasu, rangefinder's been damaged here, but not going to be too important as he is with the rest of the tanks here. Sphinx and Spencer. Sphinx and Spencer is kind of hanging out down at K5 and 6 respectively. Horsemen, though, not making any trades here. Do get a shot onto Taki, which is all right. End up tracking Tiltil.
Yeah, very close there, but Tiltil, only a track. He'll take that, I'm sure, for a bit of damage put back onto the Horsemen. That's right now, the Horsemen, I mean, this doesn't feel like a great attack, to be honest. For a team that's you know, got an 80% win rate on the Ghost Town attack, I feel as though they're not feeling very confident. You know, they're not moving fast, not really trading out too well.
No.
They don't know where half of the B Gaming tanks are still. I'm not too sure if they even spotted out the AMX 50B. So there's lots of unknowns here still in play for the Horsemen.
We'll have to see how they go about executing this strategy that they've laid out for themselves. The Mousers are going to start rolling on in there. Maybe able to get some few good shots onto Tiltil before he can retreat round the corner. One more shot from Archon will land. He's going to have to back up, and Tiltil, only the tier 9, takes a lot of the brunt damage coming through for B Gaming. Gorilla on the flank though as well. They might want to try and get that mouse into a nice little cheeky position.
Yeah, maybe right now as well, Archon, he's kind of stuck between 2 different flanks, so that's not an ideal position there for him. The Horsemen, though, they are going to be pushing up a little bit, and maybe if they can split out some of these B Gaming tanks.
Happiness. Could be in a bad way. Spencer and Sphinx are making their way around, but he's going to be able to book it over to safety in his bat shout. And Spencer trying to get what damage he can in his IU-251, but of course the main target of this fight will be Sphinx. But Tiltil has gone down as Nundasu picks him up on the back end. Spencer just needs one more shot, takes it. Sphinx cleans up Happiness. That's 2 tanks off the field for B Gaming. It's all gone wrong, Alex.
Yeah, this is not going well for B Gaming here. Horsemen just taking too much control of the map too quickly. That bat chat there, Happiness, he had no one to really support him against those 2 tanks of the Horsemen. And now the Horsemen should just be able to keep on pushing. You know, they've got the 4 Mouses. They've got the better brawling potential than B Gaming.
Yeah.
That's it.
The tier 9's just getting completely destroyed by Nundasu in the Type 57 Heavy. He's been able to just walk over them, and Horsemen, very good start. Like you said, they've got a very high win ratio, 64% on that Ghost Town attack, and we can see why it's paying out for them already. So far, they haven't dropped a tank just yet. Colin finally falls. Ushan Power trying to get into the thick of the fight in the mouse, but come on, guys, they only have 2 tanks left on the field. This should be a clear-cut victory for Horsemen, taking the Ghost Town 2-0.
Yep, absolutely. Horsemen here is no real doubt about it. They're just a better team on Ghost Town.
Yep.
Good to see that B Gaming, you know, still at least managed to take 2 tanks down, 2 Mouses, and deal quite a fair bit of damage to the Horsemen. But it's going to be it there as Sphinx takes out Rickerson, and they're going to start the Horsemen off 2-0. And really, Max, that's basically what we expected here on Ghost Town.
Yeah, not as good a showing as we had hoped after that first round that B Gaming gave us, kind of what we expected to see out of them realistically here. So hopefully they still have a few more tricks up their sleeve to go through coming in to the next map, of course, Mines, but Ghost Town just didn't look good for them on the second half.
Yeah, that wasn't great. I mean, like, I actually didn't think that B Gaming were doing too badly earlier on. Like when they had some good defensive positions set up, they got a few kind of early trades, but I think the issue for them was that they let the Horsemen have a little bit too much knowledge and didn't change it up. So essentially, the Horsemen did manage to spot out quite a few of their tanks, maybe 3, 4 of them, that I think they knew that the Bat Chat was there as well, just by being spotted. So
yeah, big game. They spread their forces too thin. They didn't have enough. Then once the Horseman strategy was apparent, they're just going to send the death ball of Mausers through. They tried to get everyone back, but they left one of the tier 9s off to the wings, the Bat Chat 25 off to the other side, and that's when Horsemen just identified these 2 lost lambs and slaughtered them.
Exactly. So look, it wasn't great there from B Gaming at the end of the day, but their win rate on the Ghost Town defense is 20%, so we can't really expect too much better than that, I think, Max.
But look, this is what I'm talking about. Happiness, he was just caught out. Where is anyone from B Gaming into position to help him out? And that was just because the Mausers completely split B Gaming's attention. They had to focus on the main Horseman attacking front, and who gets sacrificed from that? It's the WZ and the Bat Chat.
Yep, W's in the Bat Chat. That is it. So, here we go up the top. Ricky Sam in last man alive for B Gaming. No surprise to see him up the top of the scoreboard. Nandesu in that T57 heavy, 3k damage, 11 shots fired, 2 kills. What else? Sphinx there in the Bat Chat did well as well. But yeah, look, I like the T57 heavy, and I think this game also demonstrated that the Horsemen are a little bit more ahead of the meta than B Gaming by picking that T57 heavy. You know, it is a tank that at the moment it's sitting on a win rate of roughly 43%, 43.3%, which isn't great, but that's like shot up from 25% since pre-mouse. So if we're talking about post-mouse, post-mouse is sitting on, I reckon, well into the 60s. So
yeah, without a doubt, for it to be able to accelerate up that far. And you can see Tiltil just not having a good game this time around. Shinazaka getting smashed down as well. Just not a lot of good things to say about B Gaming on that second half. No,
not a lot at all, unfortunately, for B Gaming. Spencer there in the RE251 really did work, and it's always impressive when you see a tier 8 light tank with 1500 damage. It's like only in the mouse meta you really get used to seeing that, I guess.
Yeah. So. Still like you think, wow, he did so good, but then you realize he's just been shooting at a mouse for 3 minutes, and that's how that one goes down. But look, Horsemen, they're up 2-0 at the moment, taking out Ghost Town quite handily, coming into Mines on our next map. This is a map that we expect B Gaming to fight back and take around.
Yes, I would be very surprised if B Gaming didn't win at least one round here on Mines.
After that first half of Ghost Town.
Exactly, because they've showed there in that first half of Ghost Town that they're actually on point today. They're like, I don't think this is the B Gaming that loses to
Dark Horse
and Coalition Zoo. I don't think it is.
No.
So really, they could stand a chance here even to 2-0 Ghost Town if they keep that form from game 1.
Well, that'd be interesting, and they definitely have their work cut out for them. It's, again, that second round on Ghost Town just really showed their inability to make those split-second decisions, and they really focus on their overarching setups and not a lot of flexibility to work with. And I feel like Mines is one of those maps that you really need a lot of flexibility. You need to be able to respond to whatever aggression comes from any 3 of the lanes and be pronto about it.
Yeah, exactly, because of course with Mines, you know, we do have those 3 distinct separate lanes. You know, the hill in the middle of the map, we've got the coast down the one side, and the
vineyard.
town, the town / vineyard, whatever you want to call it, down the other side of the map. And you know, we do see teams quite often going for that central hill early on, because the central hill, it does give you so much map control just by being up there. You know, you can spot out all of those other areas. So, look, I still think in the mouse meta, going for that hill is a good play. You can still make it work. We also have been seeing teams go for a lot more boosts on Mines regularly.
And doing work with it.
Mm.
So many times that EL are able to get a tank up on that boost. A Batchat, what have you, is just getting like 5,000 to 6,000 damage. And even on rounds that they've lost, he's just sitting up there popping off shots because he's got such easy targets to shoot from. Like you said, going up the middle lane, the hill with the Mausers, it's pretty much straightforward, kind of plays itself when you're up there. You just wait for something to be spotted. Then you have such a wide attack radius because you've got the elevation. But if someone's elevated even higher than you, got the high
Well,
ground, Anakin.
yeah, exactly. And one other thing that we could be expecting on mines is those artillery pieces, which you know, we've seen quite a lot of. Particularly, I think Spencer for the Horsemen could be jumping into an M40. I think he likes the M40 a little bit more than the Lorraine from memory. So we could be seeing that one. Maybe even an M53, M55, that Tier 9 American artillery piece, which is very, very impactful. We've seen that pick before.
Yep.
I think TCZ last week, you know, they decimated B Gaming's lineup with that artillery piece on. It may have even been mines, I think. So
there you go. We've seen a lot of great artilleries coming from mines. We could probably make a highlight reel just out of that map, and the Arties alone. We'll have to see if either of the teams have gone for that here. Remember, this is such an important series tonight, with pretty much every round mattering for B Gaming, where they can't afford to be dropping these maps 2-0 to Horsemen at the moment. So tank lineups available, no Arties off the bat.
no IDs off the bat. The only kind of vaguely interesting pick there is that T110E4 of the Horseman, of course, that Tier 10 American tank destroyer with the semi-turret on it, which I really like. I love the T110E4 actually on the defensive mines because it's sturdy, it can get hull down and nothing's really going to go through its turret, and it does 750 damage, so you can trade with the mouse and the mouse will lose that trade. So it's a very solid pick. Having one of them is perfect. Yeah, nothing really else on the board that's too impressive.
Yeah, again, I don't really think tonight will be the series where teams try to push the boundaries of what tanks to pick on what maps. We'll be seeing a lot of cookie cutter, a lot of standard builds here, and Happiness struggling to make his way up on the boost, but as we can see that UCM Power's just going to get in unscathed and think, Happiness, you're just wasting your time, mate.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Happiness expected to get up that second part of the boost. I don't think we've seen it before. So I will be honest, I'm not even sure if that boost is possible, but he just certainly gave it a crack, or whether he was just sitting up there to proxy spot. Oh no, but Shinozaka blind fired there.
Yeah, great stuff coming out of Horseman, just shooting probable locations right now. You can see it's Sphinx. He's just popping on off rounds left, right, and center, but he pays for one of his own, but it's going to be the AP doing damage, and he's going to get shot back in return. Another one, down to one hit away from death on a good roll.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got to be careful.
Oh, Shinozaka, he's really struggling there. Oh my goodness.
He's struggling with a lot of things because he's still spotted. He's got to be careful. I think, yeah, Sphinx is out of bullets due to the few random shots he shot out first, so Shinozaka can lick his wounds and retreat for now.
Okay, so Shinozaka, that's not gone well. It's not gone well at all. And Horsemen, they're in a pretty good spot right now, because they've got Nundes all the way up the back. They've got Sphinx sort of spotting for him.
Taki's been spotted as well as Riku Sam, so Horsemen, they've just got spies everywhere, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't going too well for B Gaming right now. And if you're B Gaming, you really have, I don't know, you really want to at least have gotten a few more shots back onto Sphinx in that Batchat. In that little trade, maybe, you know, maybe B Gaming want to try and go for the one flag boost here on that mountain, rather than the very defensive boost that Tak is doing, which in my eyes, I don't really think that that boost offers much.
Now Colin, he's under the firing line as well. His mouse is going to get substantially damaged, down about 1,000 HP already, without being able to get any return fire onto Horsemen. This is where B Gaming struggle in the mouse meta. It's using their Mausers up against enemy Mausers. They don't know how to angle their arm as well.
Yeah, and look, I'm pretty sure Colin's just taken another shot.
He has.
From the T110E4. And it's like, that's why that tank is so dangerous. 2 shots, and it's those 2 shots have dealt 1,500 damage put together. You know, even more with the good rolls. So really, really good stuff. Nundesu there. He's going to be looking towards Yusa Power. Not going to be finding him though.
Oh, someone did. Takes him down a little bit here, and just no damage being returned to Horsemen at all. I think Sphinx and Hokyao have been shot, what, once or twice, maybe? No, just once a piece here, or maybe Hokyao twice in the mouse, but how do Gaming go about this? They need to find a good approach.
Yeah, it's very tricky because, like, if Gaming had a team of just fast tanks, like, you know, 113s and Bat Chats, or AMX 50Bs and Bat Chats, or whatever, then they could actually make something happen. You know, maybe they could push around the one flag, they could all group up, rush around near that one flag, you know, insta-pop Gorilla, insta-pop Spencer, and then maybe retreat up to where OBOV is and get a reload happening. You know, there would have been options, but at the moment, Gaming, they've got Mousers. You know, Mousers are the worst tanks, really, for coming down from a deficit, because, like, they can't do anything special.
Yeah, there's no way that when you have 3 Mousers on your team, are you rushing someone down and trying to catch someone off?
Exactly. You're not catching someone off guard out of position because you're in a mouse. You just get spotted and you don't move fast. You know, so it does really, really limit your options. Maybe, look, if we look at Gaming's lineup, they've still got a few fast tanks up on the field. The 113, the Bat Chat, and the 2 Bat Chat APs. I mean, the issue is they can't really push down this beach because they've got Sphinx and Archon to worry about, and Sphinx and Archon, they're in Bat Chat. So if those, you know, if Shinozaka pushes down and the Bat Chat AP and the other Bat Chat push down, then 2 of them are just going to get clipped out, you know. So it's not really going to work out too well for the Gaming if they do that.
Well, they're going to have to do something because 5 minutes have been burnt off the clock right now, and Gaming haven't really looked like they have any idea what to do next. And even though this is Gaming's map, Jordan, it's not looking good.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's very much Gaming's map. You know, Gaming have an 86% win rate on mines. And the Horsemen, like Jordan's little face there said, it's not very good, 28. So this is Gaming's best side as well, the attack, 86%. Like,
they're firing away.
Absolutely, they're firing away, and you can just tell that Gaming, they don't really know what to do here. You know, like they just don't have any idea because the Horsemen have such a tight defensive hold. The Horsemen don't need to move. You know, if you're the Horsemen right now, it's like, okay, well, we're in our perfect defensive positions, and we've got no reason whatsoever to change them. You know, they haven't spotted out any pushes just yet.
Here we go.
Here we go. One flag.
Rukisam, they're going to be making their way up, but this is just what happens when you slowly trudge through on the mouse. You're just going to get shot from all the different angles with very little means to do any rebuttals here. And they're shooting shots across the map, hoping to get something, and he's going to get tracked here, which will delay the push for now, but he's just got too many angles to defend from that there's no way he can angle his armor correctly.
Yeah, this is not looking good here for Rikku-Sam. Already been dropped down 1,500 HP. It's going to be another 500 with a shot from Gorilla connecting. Sphinx, though, on the other side, looks like he's in trouble.
Yeah, he could potentially go down here. Archon making his way on up as well. They've lost sight of Sphinx, so he can kind of hide behind a bridge for now. Archon's getting taken quite low. He's in a very vulnerable position right now. Maybe Sphinx and Archon got a little bit too big for their boots and tried to go for those 2 bad APs and ended up paying for it with a lot of HP.
Yeah, Archon here looks like he might just be zeroing in on towards happiness. And the good news for Gaming is that, well, they haven't really lost too much in that. And they have got a lot of damage onto Sphinx and Archon, 2 Bat Chats, which, you know, do constitute a lot of that Horseman damage in their lineup. So the issue now, though, is that Gaming, they've traded out way too much health to do that.
Oh, Uzasham Power down to 108 HP at the moment. One more shot from pretty much anyone is going to leave him bleeding. And the bad AP just trying to come up over the ridge. He's just going to get taken down. Archon immediately kills him. And Taki, he's going to try his luck now with no shots left available for Archon. He is just trying to block the flank off. And Sphinx needs one more. Can Taki find it in time? Sphinx on the reload, though.
Yeah, Sphinx on the reload, so Taki should still be alive here, but it's not really working too well for Gaming.
No, it's really not, Alex.
Horsemen need to take out those last few tanks, though. I mean, it's still dangerous to leave 3 tanks up, but at this stage, I mean, the Horsemen, they've got 6 tanks still alive. Gaming only with those 5 very, very low tanks. You know, one shot to use the Shampower Taki or Shinozaka, they're gone.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for Gaming. Again, 2 minutes left on the clock, so do they actually have enough time to kill every tank on the field for Horsemen? That's A question we
Well,
find ourselves
exactly.
asking quite a lot these days, Alex, when the attackers are very reluctant to attack. They just find themselves up against the clock with no real means of dishing out the damage in time. Tacky, he falls to Sphinx. A shot comes through, another one from Sphinx. He picks himself up a double. So 3 teams left on B Gaming, 1.4k HP. Split 3 ways, that's not a lot. Tiltil falls, and Ustashan and Colin last 2 left alive.
Yep, there we go. It's going to be a matter of cleanup here from the Horsemen. Last little shot or two going into Colin, well, almost going into Colin. He's giving his best to try and get the damage stats up, you know, boost the kill board, boost the scoreboard at the end of it.
And there's just no way he gets Spencer here, and he's going to go down. Unfortunately, B Gaming, this was a map that they needed to 2-0 if they wanted to have a shot in winning this. I felt, you felt, Jordan felt, I'm pretty sure all the viewers at home felt as well. So they've lost their attacking side where they had very, very high win rate on. It kind of spells disaster for B Gaming.
It's not great at all for B Gaming. Like, I mean,
like we gave them a round, Alex, and that was the round we gave them right there.
Exactly. Either that one or this next round on the Mines defense, which they still have the potential.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, still pretty good statistically, but that was pretty much a shambles from B Gaming.
They again, like, it's fine that they lose it, but they just didn't look like they had any idea whatsoever of how to play Mines. It looked like the first time that the Mouses have been introduced, teams really trying to feel each other out, and that was B Gaming. Just it didn't look like they came into it with a plan, Alex. They looked kind of shocked there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, B Gaming, they pushed, you know, they pushed some weird boosts. That weird boost up on the hill with the batch at 25 TAP early on didn't really achieve anything. The boost that Tiltil made with his batch at didn't really achieve anything. You know, he just got spotted out. So it was really strange to see what B Gaming were thinking there, because they never really seemed to have a plan to actually gain map control.
No.
They did get the hill, which was pretty much a given. I think now in Mines, the meta.
Yeah, the attackers are always going to get the hill. We'll never see the defenders move their tanks up there to contest that, because they just can watch every avenue.
With the current metagame, exactly. Before we did, and obviously if you see a defender line up with, you know, 6 bat chats, and you might expect them to take the hill, but apart from that, no, you're right.
Yeah, this was Shinazaka just getting clipped out at the start, and pretty much the beginning of the end for B Gaming. As you can see, look at the health bars across the board. No one on Horseman besides Sphinx taking damage, but he ended up surviving the whole way through, so it didn't really matter. It was just B Gaming having really no idea how they wanted to approach Horseman's defensive setup, and whether that's just an immaculate defense from Horseman or B Gaming not knowing how to break it. We'll have to see how the next round goes to give us more clarity on to how B Gaming are playing on Mines tonight.
We'll have to see indeedy, but there we go on the scoreboard. Tiltil Matilda in that mouse, 4.9 thousand damage with 15 shots fired. At least he did all right, you know, in that tier 10. Sphinx though in the bat chat, good to see him up at the top of the scoreboard. That tier 1 10E4 for Nundesu went really well as well, 2.8k damage. Colin again in his mouse. Looks like Colin's on point tonight.
Yeah, he's having a really good series, one of his better ones in quite some time. So it's just a shame that the rest of B Gaming seem to be faltering. I just want to go back to that starting around on Ghost Town and just live in that world, Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
Where B Gaming have a great opening push and great follow-up and losing by a hair.
That's it. So down the bottom there, Hockey on the mouse. 1108 damage dealt, 13 shots fired. Happiness, batch at AP, 931 damage dealt, 4 shots fired. Nothing particularly impressive.
Spencer doing work tonight for himself.
Spencer has been doing a lot of work tonight, actually. Yeah.
I know we praised him in the last round. It's like, oh yeah, that's expected though. But another round as well.
Another round. He's really on point with the RU251. You know, it's one of his favourite tanks as well. So you've got to give credit where credit is due to Mr. Spencer for getting that one working. But yeah, 3-0, and of course this is a best of 13. So
it's a long way ahead of us still.
It ends in theory once one of these teams hit that 7 mark, as long as the other team's not already on, you know, 6. So with the way that it's tracking now, we could see it ending by the end of Himmelsdorf, you know.
Yeah, and the way Horsemen are playing right now, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, we're giving B Gaming a lot of flack saying they're just not really sure what they're doing, but it feels like Horsemen are on point right now. And looking at just how well Spencer's playing in the tier 8 really resonates with the rest of the squad. If he's allowed to be doing that much, then it's obvious that the rest of the team are taking those shots, keeping all eyes on them, and that's what you need to be doing in the Mouse, is you pretty much say, hey, I'm a big target, shoot me, while the rest of your tanks are getting the damage down.
Yeah, well, exactly. You need to be taking up that damage as well as dealing it in the Mouse. That's one of the different things about it and about the Mouse playstyle is that you don't, like, damage taken and damage blocked is not really a statistic that we see sort of carried across on the stream here.
Yeah,
it's
never been more relevant though.
Exactly, but it has never been more relevant. And although it's not something you see, if you look really, really closely, you know, you can see every shot ricocheted and you add them up, it really adds up big and it kind of separates the really good Mouse players from the kind of average Mouse players. I mean, anyone can get in a tank with 3,200 HP and do okay. With, you know, it's a Mouse. It's not that hard. But the really, really good Mouse players, they're the ones that can ricochet, you know, 4k, 5k worth of damage in a battle and still deal 5k themselves. So
yeah, might have to work on getting that stat conveyed a little bit more frequently if the Mouse meta persists here and just is such a tank to be reckoned with. Because like you said, anyone can jump in there. It's got, what, very low, relatively low reload time for what it does, a lot of alpha, a lot of health, a lot of armor, pretty much everything you'd want in a tank. Only thing it's like is a bit of movement speed here and there, but it doesn't really matter when you have to go straight forward. B Gaming, though, taking a little bit of a different approach here. Got more bat chats.
Okay, more bat chats here from B Gaming. Now, am I liking B Gaming's lineup a little bit more? Because the confusing thing is, for me, the Horsemen have that T49. T49, not amazing against the Mouses, but if the Horsemen actually want to push for the hill, then that could be quite a good lineup with that T49 because you just push up there, T49 gets a big shot into a Batchat or a Batchat AP, starts them off really well, but it's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, I wonder how they decide to play this defensive setup. We can see Spencer in the T49. He sees a lot of Bat APs crossing. Big shot coming out from the Horsemen members, just really punishing B Gaming for that aggressive cross.
Yeah, wow, and look at this. Spencer's spotting here is actually brilliant. That was all down to his spots that they were able to get those early shots. And he still hasn't actually shot his gun yet either.
His big slug.
Yeah, so now, these two guys in the bat chats are pretty much trapped here for B Gaming.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot that Ricosam or Taki can do to get out unscathed. They're going to have to sacrifice their HP, and already Horsemen, blood in the water, they've smelt it and they're moving up down the coastline.
Yep, there we go. Good move from the Horsemen. They're just going to be getting onto the cap, you know, and starting to get that slow cap pressure strategy happening. I think the only issue now is that one of those bat chats wasn't actually spotted there.
Taki, he's got to be careful. It's down to the same HP as Ricosam now, so those two, not long for this world. 2 more shots should take them out of the fight. B Gaming, though, the defensive side already looking quite abysmal.
Yeah, it's not looking great here for B Gaming's defense, but I mean, look, Horsemen still have a while to go. I mean,
20 seconds.
20 seconds left. B Gaming should be able to get the reset here quite easily. Uses Shampoo does actually miss it. OBOV, he's just going to move off the cap. Oh, no, he's not.
He's flirting with danger right there in terms of cap time, but he is going to get himself reset, but still 15 seconds on the cap at the moment. How do B Gaming want to go about approaching this? They're going to send Colin to try and get his gun depression down right there. Finds a shot, gets it back up to 30 seconds and removes himself from the firing line. But look at the HP onto Usashan and Shinozakin. They're starting to add up, Alex.
Yeah, it is starting to add up. I mean, but this isn't a great position for the Horsemen. It's essentially free shots from B Gaming onto those Horsemen members on the cap. So the Horsemen have to be very, very careful that they're actually trading effectively right now because their actual cap victory is not going to happen.
No, it's not. They need to take out Usashan power right now. And you can see Happiness in the back getting some great damage onto Nundasu. He's going to potentially go down here if he's not careful. Happiness are now on the reload. They need to deal with this Mouse and they need to do it now. It's not going to work if Usashan keeps blocking these shots.
I want to know what Sphinx and Archon are doing.
Another one. That's 3 in a row.
Yeah, Usashan Power doing a brilliant job there. Doesn't block that next
10
one.
seconds though, Alex. They need to actually get the reset onto...
There we go.
There we go.
Yep, another reset coming out. But look, Happiness is definitely doing work, and I'd like to see maybe some of those faster tanks from the Horsemen
There we go.
peel off to try and deal with Happiness. But that's going to be the first tank down, and it is a B Gaming tank, and oh no.
Well, Colin, he's got to be careful poking over the ridge right now, but there's Gorilla. That's one mouse off the field for Horsemen. B Gaming still in this with a chance, but 18 seconds left on the cap, going up to 30. I think they've spent too much time trying to force this right now. You can see B Gaming, they've set up tanks all across the map to get their angles down, and Nundasu going up against Tiltil. Don't know if this is the right call.
Yeah, I don't know, Tiltil Matili's just missed that shot there, although Sphinx is now getting a little bit low. I mean, look, this is still anyone's game. The Horsemen and B Gaming, they're both on roughly the same amount of HP, and I'd probably say I actually favour B Gaming's positions more in this one as well, because they're just waiting for their bat chats to reload. As soon as the bat chats are off the reload, then it's so hard for these mouses to flick between those two bat chats. Well, there's 3 bat chats while they're spotted, and actually get some shots into them.
Well, it looks like they really want to go for the cap victory right now. That's going to be completely blocking Spencer from any fire coming through. Colin, don't know, he doesn't have a shot left to go for it. They need to get the reset. 10 seconds left on the clock. Who's going to be able to do it? It looks like Happiness has an avenue, and he's going to get the shot into OBV and finds a kill onto Spencer. Great stuff coming out of B Gaming.
Yeah, look at that. Happiness
that should be the round.
Is just having free reign on all of those mouses on the cap there. I mean, that's the issue with that cap is that there's no cover whatsoever. So, you know, as soon as one tank flanks around at the back like that, it's easy pickings.
Yeah, big game. Horseman really trying to just shove the square through the circle right there, just not working. They should have realized it, gone for something else, but they banked all in on winning off this cap victory, and it just didn't pan out for their advantage. They started so strong, getting a lot of damage over onto the bat shats. Maybe if they just forced the fights, they would have had the HP pool advantage and a lot of time to play with. Not meant to be, Alex.
Yeah, I would have much rather seen Horsemen keep on pushing like that rather than try to go for the cap victory. I don't think, honestly, I'm struggling to think of a time when we've ever seen a two-flag cap victory on Mines.
Yeah,
exactly.
It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't, because there's just it's such a little map. It's such a small map, and with bat chats on the field, it's so easy.
Happiness was just completely able to rotate around the back, get the shots off where it mattered, and completely deny Horsemen their strategy, and that's the round for B Gaming. And didn't expect it to be this side of Mines, but it's still a round on Mines nonetheless, and a very convincing one at that.
Look, that was convincing. It's good that B Gaming have picked up that. I mean, you know, they do have the Horsemen an 11% win rate on the attack of Mines. I think we could see why there, because that was just a bad strategy.
Oh, it was abysmal.
Not great. Look, I did like the initial, like the first little glimpse of brilliance that the Horsemen showed there with that T49 pushing out, getting the early spots onto the bat chats, and
it looked great.
That was nice. That was quite, you know, quite cute. But overall, the Horsemen didn't follow it up with anything good. They just sat in the cap, let themselves get flanked, let themselves take free damage. Yusishan Power outplayed those mouses on the cap with the trades.
He really did.
And that was it. It's pretty much B Gaming's map from there.
Oh, that's Mines done and dusted. 1-1 apiece here, and jumping into steps for our next map. Curious to see how this one will go as well.
Yes, well, let's take a look back at a little bit more on what went wrong for the Horsemen in that one. Well, this went right. Riku Sam there taking a big chunk of damage early on.
So if you're Horseman in that position, Alex, what's the play?
I think the play after you've got that early damage out is just to go. It's not to go for the flag cap, because the flag cap's never going to work. You know, it's just keep on pressing W on your keyboard and push on towards those bat chats so they can't hide behind the rock.
Yeah, Happiness really doing work in that bat. He was able to get completely behind the enemy team and find all those big, juicy, weak spots on the mouse. Tacky as well, despite going down relatively low at the start of that round, was able to dish out the damage where it mattered. Shinazaka as well.
Yep, there we go. Colin in the mouse, 2.1k damage dealt. Nundesu in the mouse, 1889. Not too bad. Riku Sam, 1841. You know, it's kind of alright. What else? We had Archon there in the 113, 1777. Overall, not a bad scoreline for B Gaming. Tiltil Matil would have liked to have seen him do a little bit more than that. And this is the other thing about the mouse meta. You know, we see Yusishan Power down there with 1,000 damage, right? And it's like, oh yeah, Yusishan, wow, he really struggled. Last damage, you know, least damage on B Gaming side. But actually, he did a lot of work. He did a lot of work because he's blocked a lot of damage there. In all of that time that he was kind of trading around there amidst that flag, you know,
He blocked 3,400 damage for his team there.
there you go, exactly.
So 3 times the amount he was able to deal.
Yeah, perfect. You know, that's what he's meant to do. So
We mentioned it. It's a lot of emphasis on not only dealing damage in the mouse, but also denying damage from the enemy team, and that's just what he did. He was on that cap, stalling Horsemen. Maybe that was part of the reason why they didn't continue to press W and go for those weakened bats. They just had to deal with Usashan power.
yeah, and maybe even rushing Usashan power would have been a better move there as well for
True.
the Horsemen. Who knows? But that's the other thing there, that T49. I don't think that T49 did too much. You know, didn't feel very impactful to me as a tier 8. Apart from that initial scout, which really, you know, a T54 lightweight could have done. AMX 1390 could have done. You know, anything could have done it.
Yeah, and look, coming into steps now, Mines, that's done and dusted. 1-1 apiece. Great stuff coming out of B Gaming this show, and they still have a little bit of life left to play with. But steps, let's have a look here. What do we got? Steps, not so good for B Gaming, Alex. It's very red.
Yes, very red. This is not a map that I expect B Gaming to win a single half on.
Sure.
I think this is going to be an absolute rollover here from the Horsemen, because the Horsemen are so good at steps. I even think that the Horsemen get kind of gypped a little bit with their win rate on steps, because I think they're a lot better than a 50% win rate team on the attack, a lot better than the 67% win rate team on the steps defense. So my bet here is it's going to be a clean sweep from the Horsemen. Maybe the Horsemen could go for an artillery piece. They didn't there. It looks like we're playing very standard, very safe today, which makes sense, you know.
There's a lot at stake here, Alex. And Horsemen, they've just shown that they can bleed tonight. They've shown that they're not as perfect as they would have hoped to be. Losing around to B Gaming, we thought, after the first few, potentially 7-0 for Horsemen. They're playing serious, they're playing strong, and they've had a great week before them as well. So coming into this game, everything was in their court, but now losing around, we'll have to see how they play wounded.
Yeah, we will. Well, there we go. So the Horsemen here, after that little loss, onto steps now. We are expecting maybe an artillery piece on the attack.
Could do.
Maybe. I don't like artillery on the defense on steps just because there's nowhere to hide it. You know, it often gets taken out very, very early on.
Yeah, when we see it, we don't see much of it.
No. Exactly. But, you know, on the attack, I think it can work.
Well, especially since how defenders have been playing steps, just bunkering down with the Mousers. We've seen the scouting runs come out and the arties just completely decimating the defensive line that the Mousers set up because they have no real way to dodge out.
Yeah. Look, absolutely. That's
basically a firing range.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons that you can pick the artillery piece here on the attack of steps. I mean, whether they do or not, I'm sure that the Horsemen are going to be going with a bit more of a faster lineup, maybe still a few, maybe 2 Mousers max on the attack, maybe roughly that same number on the defense, maybe even 3. But overall, it's steps. You know, this is their playground, the Horsemen.
True. Well, it looks like a map that you could ride a horse around and get a lot of distance without too much in the way here. But we won't have to wait for the tank picks much longer here. And you called it, Alex, a very fast lineup coming out for Horsemen on the defense. And B Gaming not opting for any Mousers or any artilleries on the attack.
Interesting there from B Gaming that they're going very light on the attack. I think that maybe they want to be pushing towards a 1 flag with that sort of a lineup. Or just, I guess, maybe even doing a 2 flag rush. But yeah, look, the Horsemen, very, like, again, super standard, super cookie cutter stuff. I like the bat chats there. And the Horsemen are so good at using these bat chats on steps. You know, they'll group him in a wolf pack and they'll just rip you to shreds with them. And that's what B Gaming have to be careful with.
Yep, they're just going to trample their opponents under the hooves of the Horsemen. 3-1 up over B Gaming right now, who showing some signs of life. Coming into this with a win on steps, win on Mines, but now they have steps. This is the Horsemen playground, and I want to have a listen in with Horsemen to see what's their favorite toy on the playground.
这边没看到人，腰上往前走。
我要爬上去吗？
不着急，
爬得上去就爬啊。
我亮
看他有没有
这边
看他有没有
这边
需求啊。
你可以爬，你要爬你先。
这有人的
可能不是这边，可能在这边。
哦，
你们能不能加到我？
对啊，我在拱铁道里面，
13往前走，13才能走。
A lot of focus, a lot of serious communications coming through Horsemen. This isn't any laughs, this isn't fun and games tonight. It's all about the W's.
That's it. We need those wins. Right now, though, we've seen that B Gaming, they've interestingly enough left a few of their tanks back near their spawn to try and get a little bit more of a lay of the land, try and get some early warning as to when the Horsemen are pushing them and trying to get some flanks across. The Horsemen, though, sending Gorilla out first. It's an interesting idea in the 113, letting him lead.
Making their way over now, and Usha Power should be getting his eyes on the prize. Taki, though, first one to get shot in the round. Moving themselves onto the cap. Tiltil, though, we'll have to see how Horsemen react to this.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting. Maybe Spencer just goes for those blind resets from the hill. Not too sure how effective that will be against Tiltil Matil, but right now B Gaming have to be very, very cautious of these Horsemen players that are pushing up. Taki's actually in a really good position. Oh.
He's not playing it well, though, Alex.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit too aggressive there. He needs to just chill out a little bit. He can fire his shots any time. Just need to make sure he does so when there's no one looking.
Oh, now Happiness as well. Not trading back very efficiently here. Rookie Sam's made his way up in the 113 to try and be the front runner for his team, but his bat chats are getting damaged more and more by the second. Sphinx and OBOV copped a few shots here and there, though. Both teams trading blows quite efficiently, but remember, a minute left on the countdown, on the hill timer here. Just as I say that, Tiltil decides after being spotted, it's time to book it.
Good move there from Tiltil. Getting off as soon as he's spotted, that's exactly what you want to do. He would have died if he just stayed on the cap for any longer. But at the moment, this isn't actually going too badly for B Gaming because they have almost got OBOV down. If they can finish off that bat chat, then that'd be great. Except, unfortunately for them, OBOV, he's retreated. So he's made a great move, getting the retreat happening, getting the reload happening. And
oh, here comes a
brawl
push from B Gaming, though they could have potentially caught out a few of the Horsemen tanks. Gorilla, and I think it's Nundes too, the lot, just two out completely. Left to dry, no way of escaping right now, and Gorilla doesn't look like he's going to get the potential to trade back around, and this could be bad coming out from Horsemen. They lost two tanks, but the damage is still being driven home as B Gaming getting shot up left, right, and center.
Yeah, there we go. OBOV, they're almost taking a final shot that would have ripped him out as well. Horsemen, 2 tanks down. B Gaming, now 2 tanks down themselves. And that mouse just doesn't seem to be doing too much. Hokkyo there, they're just ignoring him, B Gaming, and that's all they need to do.
Oh, Sphinx does a lot of damage into Colin. Has one more shot left, gets it, and Taki trying to go for the ram tactics. Not going to work. That's 2 tanks now off the field for B Gaming. Again, it's a 4 versus 3, and they've caught out Sphinx.
Yeah, nice little pick there from B Gaming. Now it's a 3-on-3, but look at that. Tiltil Matil so close to going down. One more shot from Spencer would do it.
Oh, but Spencer, he knows that Usa Shampao is going to be hunting him down. He's trying to get himself to safety, but he's not long for this world. This is steps, mate, and there's not a lot of places you can hide. You can run, but you can't hide.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit tricky here for Spencer. I like what he's doing, though. He's kind of, you know, drawing him out into the fire line of some of his other tanks. Yep.
It's about the only line of sight he'll be able to use here, because once he's past this, he's going to try to go for the 180.
It's not gone well.
No, might be able to get maybe one more shot off. Nope, not going to find it.
Yeah, that's very rough. Very, very rough. So now, suddenly, it is a 2-on-3. Archon is actually spotted out as well, but Tiltil Matil wouldn't want to fire. He would actually think that Archon's probably off the reload, but Archon's not. Now he is.
Well, he's going to be able to find out Tiltil, and Tell him he'll be lucky if he gets one shot in before his inevitable death. I think he's just going to bait him up the hill, then decide to run down. Yep, ring around the rosy coming through here.
Nice,
but
nice,
Hockey
nice.
with the shot across the map finds a kill onto Tiltil. So it's a 2 versus 2 right now. Full HP Mouse and full HP Batchat against the damaged Tacky and Nusashan Power for B Gaming.
I think Archon needs to stick with Hokiao right now. I think he really does.
Because Hockey, if he gets caught out by the double Batchat, he's just going to go down.
Yep, exactly. He's not going to be able to do anything. But yeah, I reckon Archon, if he just uses Hokiao as a kind of shield, and that's going to be really good. And Horsemen really need to try and use his Mouse's HP and armor to their advantage. I mean, they need to either push out with him, he needs to be the one spotting, or something like that, because if they don't, then it's not going to work for them.
Nope. Uzashan slowly making his way onto the cap. 2 minutes now for that one. And he just needs to draw Horsemen into the fight. They have regrouped. Hokiao and Archon slowly but surely moving their way over.
Okay, so they're trying for the cap. I think they're only going to put one tank on it. I would only put one tank on it if I was B Gaming just yet. But then the issue, of course, does become a little bit of an HP issue, because if they empty their clips out into, you know, Archon, they're going to need at least one reload to take out Hokiao, who is actually spotted now. Do they go for it? I don't think they do.
Yeah, they have to retreat off the cap. They have to respect that behemoth that Hokiao is driving right now. And Uzashan reveals himself by popping off a few shots here. So Archon still in the fog of war, might be able to catch him out here with only 4 shells left for Uzashan. He's already damaged.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to take the fight against Archon.
I mean, that's the issue here, right? Tacky's, well, probably 3 shots from the Batchat, to be honest. Uzashan Power, again, probably around that 3-shot mark. Unless someone gets really good rolls onto Tacky.
2 minutes left on the clock here. How did B Gaming win this
That's
round,
the
Alex?
issue.
They need to
That
go,
is
and they
the
need to go
issue.
now.
Yeah, like they can't wait for too much longer, because there's too much HP on the Mouse. Even if they both emptied out their clips into the Mouse, and like they're still going to need
And
another
depend them
reload.
all and get good rolls, yeah, then maybe. But in the meanwhile, guess who's right behind him? It's going to be Archon getting the
Yeah,
shot.
Archon's in a really good spot for this as well, because when they come up behind, the Mouse is going to spot them out first. They're going to empty the first few things into the Mouse, and that's the thing. All that Horsemen really need to do, now that we're so late, is they just need to take out one of those Batchats in a brawl. And then the other Batchat physically will not have enough damage to take them out.
Yep. Not looking good for B Gaming. They've bided their time, but maybe it's been bided for too long. As minute 15, you can see Tacky. He's kind of going off into the wings. Uzashan has been spotted out. They're trying to keep the second Batchat in the fog of war, but after that shot, that was pretty much already just another foot in the grave for B Gaming.
Yep. 1 minute left, and yeah, I actually don't think they have enough.
No, they don't have enough firepower to deal with it.
And yeah, the Mouse is probably just going to get another shot.
Yep. That's going to be the round for Horsemen on steps. A lot closer than I would have thought, considering how well Horsemen are known to play on steps. B Gaming, they did a good little push there when they caught out, I think it was OBOV and Nandesu in the midst of the map, or it was Gorilla rather, because it's in the 113. Gorilla and Nandesu, they caught them out, but they sustained just too much damage on the back end of it. And the Mouse is paying dividends in this particular scenario, where B Gaming have 30 seconds left to deal 5,000 damage.
Yep, and that is not going to happen, unfortunately. B Gaming, as much as you'd love it to happen, Archon is going to take out Uzashan Power instead, and Tacky is probably going to die to a Mouse.
Yep, there you go. 1-0 on steps for Horsemen. Great start to this little round here, and yeah, didn't look good for B Gaming coming into it. They played all right. They played fast. They didn't pick a single Mouse. I think they went for the double 113 instead.
Yeah.
We're able to get some picks on the start of it, but I think it was Sphinx up kind of on the little bit of a boost there. He was able to get all the shots into the 113 that was rotating over, which got his team a lot of HP back in their favor.
Yeah, it was good play there from Sphinx. I didn't really like the Mouse there from the Horsemen, to be quite honest. I don't actually think it did that much or did anything that any other heavy tank like another 113 couldn't have done.
Sure.
So, you know, maybe a bit of a potential improvement that the Horsemen could make, but again, that was a Horseman's defense there on steps. They're quite good at it. I mean, B Gaming, they never really looks like they had a plan to actually win that one. They could have maybe at the end if they got a few more shots in towards the Batchat, but maybe if they put 2 tanks on the cap and force one of the bat chats to rush out, because the mouse wouldn't have spotted the bat chats until it got close. Look, there's lots of ifs and buts there, but at the end of the day, that was really well played by the Horsemen. Really good control of the map that they had, even when all of those B Gaming tanks pushed back up and, you know, clipped out that 113 of the Horsemen's.
Yeah.
Horsemen still just kept their composure. They kept the damage going into B Gaming and turned out with a win.
Yeah, really good stuff coming out of Horsemen here, coming into the second half of Steps. Now, B Gaming, they're reeling from that last few losses, and I know they just need to channel what went right for them on Mines and come into the second half of Steps with that in mind. And this was the good push that came out of B Gaming, where it looked actually quite promising for them. They were able to take out Nundasu straight away. Gorilla followed, but it was what came after this fight which kind of put B Gaming back in the hole.
Yeah. Exactly. That fight wasn't too bad for B Gaming, but they
this is where Sphinx just started to pop off.
Yeah, that was it, really. And he just emptied out his entire clip, got a few kills. What more could you ask for? Sort of thing.
A really convincing round coming through from Horsemen in the end. And like you said, the mouse not doing too much, but I think it was a perfect tank for that last scenario where it was just a 2-on-2, and realistically, B Gaming had no way of clipping out a full HP mouse and a full HP bat chat in 2.5 minutes.
Yep, pretty much. So that was very good stuff there from the Horsemen. Sphinx there with that bat chat, regular bat chat, not the bat chat APAC. 2.9 thousand damage. Hockey with the mouse, 2.7k. Gorilla with that 113, a little bit lower. So obviously this game having so many bat chats in at this time, we're not seeing those damage numbers quite as high as we did on Ghost Town or
No
Mines.
inflated stats here, but Ususham Power at least back on top of the leaderboard.
Yep, that's exactly what B Gaming need, and I think he's having a good night tonight, and that bodes well for B Gaming. But unfortunately, they don't have much time to many maps to kind of start pulling back from this. Nundasu there, 799. Spencer 750. Kind of not that impressive on the bottom half of the scoreboard there, to be quite honest. No one actually, no one with more than 1,000 damage. And Tiltumatil in the RU251 there didn't really have that much of an impact, to be quite honest. I mean, it's good to see him in that RU251, but yeah.
Yeah, just not being able to get a whole lot done. And it's unfortunate as well because we gave him so much praise for his play on Ghost Town in the WZ. Did a lot for them on Mines as well, but really just not finding his footing coming into Steps here. So 4-1 up for Horsemen at the moment. They only need 3 more wins away to take this series, get themselves a ticket, and of course the seeding game against Karen Tiger B Gaming. They really need to pull their socks up here. 6 rounds in a row. Like we talk about when a team is down like 4-0, they got to make that 5-game streak, a 6-game streak. 5, let alone, has never been done, Alex. So 6, we're asking a lot out of B Gaming.
We are asking a lot, absolutely. that's for sure. I mean, looking at B Gaming's kind of other stats here on the second half of Steps, it's not looking too great for them either, because we've just seen them there on the attack. 29% win rate. Steps defense, they've got a 17% win rate, so really struggling, I think, here on Steps. But I don't know, maybe look, B Gaming, the issue for them is, and why I feel so confident in my initial prediction of that 7-1, is because B Gaming, they're not the team that changes anything up. They will only ever pick standard tanks. There you go, standard tanks, B Gaming. Mausers, Bat Chats, RU251 on the defense. Like that's the issue for B Gaming. I feel as though they do need to be a little bit more adventurous. They do need to experiment a little bit more with what works and try and step out of their comfort zone, because everyone knows how B Gaming plays, with Mausers and Bat Chats and just all of your standard tanks. Your Horseman knows how B Gaming are going to play this. They're just going to sit around near their spawn with the Mausers, put the RU251 up on the hill, maybe push a few Bat Chats south or towards the railway. It's very easy to read.
Yeah, I feel like the reason that playing cookie cutter for B Gaming just will never work for them is because the teams that they're going up against, just a pound for pound, have better players across the roster. So if they're going mirrored strategies here, the better team will always come out ahead, and I think that's what we're seeing here tonight. So Horsemen, very fast, very maneuverable lineup. No mouse in sight for them. B Gaming with 3. They're going to set up that kind of defensive nest, and let's see how Horsemen decide to dismantle them.
Till there.
So now that's a bush you can hide behind, Alex.
It is a bush you can hide behind.
It's a lovely little bush there.
Lots of little
Bit
Leaves
of fruit.
and flowers. Yeah,
Yep.
a bit of fruit. Looks like a blackberry bush.
Much better than those bushes on Ghost Town. Oof.
Could make some blackberry jam with that bush.
Well, B Gaming strategy pretty much says don't move, so got a lot of time to play with.
Yeah, exactly. I think jam takes about 3 hours normally, though. Might be making that up, but I think so.
Well,
Definitely
already
takes a couple of hours.
yeah, I know the jamming process can be quite intricate here, but already we're seeing Horsemen on the cap. How are Big Gaming going to react? Very slowly, I imagine, considering they've got 3 mouths.
Yeah, interesting that Taki's actually the one up on the cap as well, and not that RU251 Til. Like, I don't really like the idea of putting a bat chat up on the cap because the bat chat, it's got an autoloader. It's not great at blind firing.
Well, speaking of blind firing, Spencer gets hit there. He's going to have to be careful because if he goes down, that could dash Horseman's dreams.
Could. Well, very nice little blind reset there by Yusishan Power, though. And Spencer will just be
No
sitting
camo
back.
net. So he's not going to have any increased camo values right now. Don't think they want to go for a win off the initial victory. It's more or less just forcing B Gaming's hand.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I mean, they want B Gaming to push over the hill with all of their bat chats so they can just blow them up, sort of thing. And this is your standard one flag attack strategy. You know, we've seen it so much this season, so much last season. You just get onto the flag, you start exerting a little bit of pressure. You know, you get the enemy team worried a little bit. You know, you want that cap to go nice and low, and then everyone starts panicking in theory.
Another blind fire into Spencer, though.
Yeah, well,
B Gaming picking their targets.
yeah. That's,
Wonder who's getting those shots, though. I wonder if they're wasting... Looks like Usashan's on the reload, so maybe they're using the bat chats for it.
maybe. Could not say, to be honest, but
All the destructible debris is gone, so Spencer.
yeah, you
left
can
out
hear
to
the
dry.
shots just landing around him.
Scary life for an RU251 on a cap.
Mm-hmm. That's why I almost would have preferred an AMX 1390 here, to be honest, as opposed to the AE251. I mean, the 1390 does have a slightly lower win rate than the 251 throughout this season. The AE251 currently sitting on a win rate of about 52% versus the 50% of the 1390. But I think, you know, when you need a tiny little tank just to sit on the cap and be as low profile as possible, can't go past the 1390 for a tier 8. Remember back in the old days when it was lower tiers than this that we played, always used to be the AMX ELC.
Finds a shot onto Colin. Looking for another, but he should just be able to get behind the ridge, but he doesn't know where he's being shot from, so he might actually take a few more before he gets himself to safety. Hockeyal, not going to connect with that one.
Hockeyal's in a really nice spot though, because no one's really going to be able to go through. Oh, looks like they've spotted him out.
Till. Can he go down here? They only need one more shot to go for it, and there they are, but they trade out the AE251s. The life of a tier 8 tanker.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a win there, technically speaking, for B Gaming because they don't really value their RU251 so much because they're on the defense. So Horsemen losing their RU means they lose a lot of cap pressure. You never really want to put a bat chat on the cap, but they're doing it. So.
Well, they don't have a choice, really. All they've got left is bat chats and a V215B.
I would almost have preferred if the Horsemen had, I don't know, maybe pushed down towards a 2 flag. Like, the issue is, of course, that we do still have Taki up on the hill on that bat chat. But I think a 2 flag push probably would have been a better move here for the Horsemen. Look, we'll see how this turns out. It can work. There is the potential for it to work. You know, maybe the B Gaming will have to sacrifice one of their bat chats to get the spot. And in that case, then it's good for the Horsemen. But, oh no, Shinazaka.
He's just going to be rolling in nice and slow here. Wait till he gets spotted out to see if Horseman can clip him down, but Horseman actually going for a rotate over trackside.
Okay. Horseman here. Maybe go, actually I don't mind this, the push in from the 1 flag. This could actually work quite well if they time it right. And they haven't actually been spotted out yet. If if they come over there and are able to burst down a batchet or two. Oh, OBOV takes a shot though. Oh, is he spotted on the cap? Yeah, he is. That's not good.
They've all been spotted this time around, so they're going to be making their move over OBOV. He might just go down here, Colin. He's going to have to be careful because here comes the Batchat Parade. Batchat's fast and low, making their way on through. It's going to be 4 of them coming up, Colin. He's got to be careful. He could just go down here, but they get a lot of damage into Archon straight off the bat, and this is looking bad for Horsemen, Alex.
Yeah, this is not looking good at all. Archon, he barely got any of his shots out as well, and the Horsemen are just getting ripped into from B Gaming.
Yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. They are going to be able to take out Colin, but Sphinx falls as well. And now the Batchats are on the reload, and all they've done is take out 1 mouse. They've lost 2 Batchats, and I think they've lost the round here, Alex.
Yep, that's going to be the round. 100% there for the Horsemen. They've got less than half the HP left of B Gaming. There's a 5,000 hit point difference between these two teams. Now, Hockey, I don't think he's done too much up there as well. I think they needed him to push in first, or at least someone a little bit sturdier than those Batchats, because they just did not have much of an impact. Like, well done, Horsemen. You took down a mouse.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Horsemen were thinking with there. And I guess you can attribute a lot of this game to B Gaming getting very lucky with the blind shots onto Spencer.
Yep.
He got, I think, taken down to like half HP without ever being spotted, so not much you can fault out of his play. But Horsemen, they didn't react to it very well, which is the issue. They kind of just tried to brute force their way through. What, 4 Batchats into a mouse? They trade 2 for 1.
Yep.
Never going to work.
Never going to work. So B Gaming here should be able to take out a very easy win. There's no way that Batchat on 376 HP, another Batchat, and an FV215B with the damage loader are going to be able to come back into this and take down 2 more mouses and 3 more Batchats. Shinozak, and he's not even taking damage. That's a beautiful thing about the mouses, Max, is that once you get kind of far enough ahead in the battle, the mouses just become so hard to come back into. Because yeah, they just ricochet everything.
I know, it's one of those things where you think, oh yeah, he's got enough damage theoretically to take him out, and then in practice he's just ricocheting, bouncing shots, and poor little Batchat there can't do too much. Once he's out of ammo, he has to go on the 30-second reload while the mouse is just hitting him every 9 seconds or so. And Horseman, yeah, gonna go down here. Didn't expect this map to go 1-1, but
I didn't either.
B Gaming get themselves a win here. Going to be taking the series up 4-2, showing that they're not out of the fight just yet. They're still hanging on, albeit a thread. But we still have a long way to go. Steps only our 3rd map of the night, Alex. Still a potential 4 more maps to go.
Yeah, okay. Well, not great there from the Horsemen. I did not expect them to lose the Steps attack like this. It is their slightly worse half, but yeah, I guess the mouse has just proved a little bit too strong. You know, maybe if the Horsemen had ran into 3 of B Gaming's Batchats when they crossed that ridge,
yeah,
it would have done better. But when you run into a mouse, there's just not many options. You know, you need to shoot it at the end of the day, but you also shouldn't shoot it. It's very, very tricky.
Unfortunately for being Horsemen, they couldn't unravel the puzzle of whether or not to shoot the mouse, and it ends up biting them here. B Gaming take the win, taking it to 4-2. Great stuff out of them. Definitely got a series on our hands, Alex. This is very easy for B Gaming to catch up if they keep playing like this. And if Horsemen, they've looked quite weak on some of these attacking sides.
Yeah, they really have. And we can see all of the HE. And I tell you what, Hockey's doing a really great job here. He's giving it all he can. But it's not going to be enough.
A good old-fashioned college try.
Good old-fashioned college try. That's the one. Exactly.
So great stuff by B Gaming here, but they still have a long road ahead of them if they want that ticket to Taipei. And Horsemen, you know where they're from, Alex?
Well, Taipei.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
Taiwan, yeah.
Yeah, they've got Taiwan, sorry. They've got a lot of pride on the line here. If they miss out on the finals in their backyard, essentially.
Oh, exactly. How disappointing would that be if you're the Horsemen? You do not want to lose this game and miss out on the spot at the Season 2 finals. In your home country, you know, you can play in front of your home crowd. Absolutely. Like,
can you imagine being not just the crowd favorite, walking in there from Horsemen, and if they don't make it, wouldn't that just be heartbreaking for them?
It really will.
So much on the line. Pride, money, fame, everything that these guys are playing for. But I just feel that with the Horsemen, that dial set up just a little bit more because they have that, like you said, that home field that they want to play on.
Yep. Exactly. So look, the Horsemen here, I think that they really do need to jump back in on the next map, which is of course going to be Himmelsdorf.
Yep.
That one was, yeah, a little bit surprising for them. And I guess B Gaming at the end of the day, like they may not be that good on Steps defense, but you don't need to be that good on Steps defense if you just pick Mouses and let the enemy team rush you.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that one went down, and we're going to be seeing Sphinx trying to do what he can, but the damage was already dealt. They couldn't get in, they couldn't get the kills what they needed to, and look, they're just, while they're sitting there shooting a mouse, guess what? It doesn't matter, because B Gaming is shooting the bat shats, and they're the more valuable targets in that fight, and unfortunately for Horsemen, they just didn't have the target priority that they needed at the end of the day. Oost Power, Taki putting up good damage considering that Horsemen didn't have a single mouse in sight.
Yeah, that's right. Usage Shampoo at the top, 3.7k damage, 29 shots fired. Hokyao 2.4k in the FE215. But not surprising to see Hokyao up the top there for the Horsemen. I actually think he played that one really, really well in the 215.
He was doing work.
Like, he couldn't really do too much more, I guess. I mean, he did fire 23 shots and he didn't actually get too many of them through. That's probably only like 8 through. Maybe he could have pushed out. I don't know. I actually don't like, I didn't touch on this earlier, but I don't really like the 215B in the current mouse meta because it doesn't do that much. It doesn't, I mean, it's got a little bit of DPM, but if you want a little bit of DPM and kind of slowish, hard to go through heavy tank, then may as well just pick a mouse sort of thing.
At that stage, yeah.
Like, and yeah, it's got a more accurate gun sort of thing, but like, yeah.
Yep, both the RU251s not being able to do too much, and I do feel bad for Spencer in that game, just constantly getting shot completely blind. Great stuff from B Gaming to identify the right angles to shoot from, but still, it's a guessing game realistically when you're shooting at a completely invisible target.
Exactly.
And I feel like that had a very big hand in how they were able to close out that game. Obviously, it was Horsemen who did make pretty much one of the only calls they could have made, going for that rush down rail. I initially thought, oh, I could see this working if they run into a couple of bat shots, but they run into the mouse.
Exactly, they ran into the mouse, and that was the big issue there for the Horsemen, unfortunately. You know, if they ran into the bad shots, I still would have liked to have seen them rotate back and try for another flag, the other flag push from the south, from their spawn. You know, I think that would have gone better because it's very hard to make a push like they did work when there's mouses on the field. If they rotate back, you know, they've got more room to work with. Less notice in theory, so there's more options for them.
Well, coming into Himmelsdorf now, very interesting map. We've seen a lot of variety actually.
Yeah,
more
absolutely.
than I expected.
Oh, look, Himmelsdorf now in this current meta, it has evolved quite a bit.
It really has.
We used to just see the Mouses and then a Type 5 and maybe a bat chat thrown in there, but these teams are really realizing now that there's a lot of other tanks that you can pick on Himmelsdorf because it is such a unique map in that it's so close quarters, so small, and they're really just corridors that you shoot down. So we're seeing the T95 come into play. Brilliant tank, absolutely brilliant. I think it's my favourite tank in the game right now for WGL. It's got over 70% win rate, right, which is actually insane.
That's
it's
crazy.
Got an over 70% win rate. T110E3, which is kind of like, you know, the dad of the T95, and it's got a pretty good win rate as well. Again, there's lots of other things. We're not seeing the FEs anymore, the FE215B or the 4005 anymore on Himmelsdorf because there's just not much squishy targets to go through. But again, you know, you could pick the Type 4, you could pick the Type 5. Like, what else have we seen?
There's a lot of things that Himmels is now allowing people to pick, and the more that they push the bar, the more they're saying that these tanks can work in a certain situation. Obviously, it's this variety. It seems kind of exclusive to the defenders at the moment, since they're the ones watching these kind of straight corridors without the need for much movement. The attackers still have to find a way in, and we've been seeing a lot of pushing up around the castle.
Yeah, we do see most of these tanks on the defensive side. I still think that on the attacker side, you can go for one or two of them.
I agree.
Unlike the defenders, you know, you can't do like a TCZ strat and pick 4 T110E4s. I don't think 4 T110E4s on the attack would really work. But one, you know, chuck one into your lineup, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can set that just to deal with, you know, a tricky line that's hard to get through, because that's what tank destroyers like this were really designed to do. Lots of them are designed as breakthrough tanks to break through enemy lines. And you can use them exactly as they were intended in World of Tanks in some situations. So, yeah.
It all depends on whether or not they know how to get them into those correct positions to try and rain down the fire. A lot, what we have been seeing is teams, they struggle a little bit when they go for that one flag. We've seen teams kind of hand-fist their tanks in there, try to get into the one flag, but they're the ones just getting completely punished by those heavy tank destroyers that are just sitting there watching down the line. It's the players that are going up around the castle, maybe through the banana, getting in to that 2 flag, putting one of the lighter tanks on there, then forcing all these kind of like, you know, set up and stare tanks to start moving around and repositioning, and that's where the attackers have the advantage of the defenders.
Yep, that's it. So, look here on Himmelsdorf, after talking about all of that, unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to see too many crazy tank picks here from either of these two teams.
Feels like it's a very standard night, Alex.
It is feeling quite vanilla tonight.
Everyone's got the cookie cutters out. We're having choc chip for dinner.
Exactly. Or just a vanilla cookie.
Vanilla cookie? I don't think I've had vanilla cookies before.
No, I mean, I suppose it's just a biscuit.
Yeah, at that stage it's just a bicky, right?
Yeah, exactly. But look, here we go, jumping on to the first half of Himmelsdorf. Let's find out what tanks these guys are picking. Oh, and there you go. No surprises that Mouseless, but great to see those T95s. I'm really liking that from B Gaming. They have actually strayed out of the box a little bit to pick those ones, which is lovely to see.
Well, you mentioned it on Steps that pound for pound, when they go up against Horsemen, they can't afford to mirror them. They need to have some bit of spice to their cookie mixture.
Yep, that's it. The Horsemen, they're going to be going with the Type 5 Heavy in their lineup. That's the only real difference there. And the E100, actually. The E100, like, it needs a good play. You need to be really good at the E100 to pick it, because it is a tank that is in danger of just instantly dying and dealing no damage.
So jumping into Himmelsdorf, 4-2 at the moment. Normally this would be match point for Horsemen, but they still have a few more rounds to win themselves, giving B Gaming another avenue of approach back into this series. It's not over yet, Alex.
No, it is not. Tiltil Matil are going to be in one of those T95s. It will be Muller in the other one. I think Muller is going to be heading down to that 3 line. It's a pretty good spot for a T95. Spencer from the Horsemen has headed up to the hill to scout that out. And the rest of the Horsemen maybe just heading towards a banana line. But overall, look, very solid defensive lineup there from B Gaming. They just need to sit tight, you know, sit in that 2 flag, not really move too much, and wait for the Horsemen to come to them. That's exactly what their lineup is designed to do. They don't want to, you know, push into the Horsemen at all. They don't want to try and fight in the banana. Looks like they don't even want to try and get some kind of cross shots on towards the Horsemen tanks as they cross the banana. They are completely happy just sitting back and saying, okay, come to us, we'll fight you.
Oh, banana push looks like it will be in effect for Horsemen here, but with B Gaming about to mount the defense, I want to hack into their radio communications and have a listen in to what they're planning to do on the defense.
マウスこれ引いてきて、これ引いてきて。
もう D ライン上げるよ。
アポイントここまでクリアして。
P95 どこに構える？いいか。7ライン通してくれる？7ライン通す。
ビアも見てる。E100こっち見てる今。
ここで待ち
ナイスナイスナイス。
ナイスナイスナイスナイス。
上95に見させて。113と50尾そこ中途半端すぎるから1。
ああ、もう一個引いた方がいいのこれ。
50尾さ、今のうち引いてこれないこっち側。
行く。
あ、もうでも今無理でしょ。タイプ構えてるでしょ。
ハポネスこっちでいいんじゃないかな。
聞いてもなんか。
いや、ナイスナイスナイスナイス。
いる残る？
打ったから移動するよ俺。
もう
あ、オッケー。じゃあマウス一緒に出よう。
タイプ5打ったよ今。
中のやつでやれる
？50尾さ、ケツからバッタやりに行ってくれ。
やりに行くけど、追えないと思うから、追いに行くわ。
バット打ってるよ、バット打ってる。友達に対して打ってる。
ハポネス横。ここ打たれる。
ハポネス横打って。
あ、オッケー。
タイプ5が通ってると思う。見えた。 逆打った。
タイ5発砲。
200、200。
A completely different set of circumstances when it comes to the communications out of
Yeah.
B Gaming. Very rapid fire, exciting. You could hear them when they got a kill on to Spencer to start things off. They were screaming nice. They were really into this game, and that's how they got to be. They got to be all pedals to the metal right now. They have the tank advantage, but the HP is lacking at the moment by a considerable margin. So if Horsemen can trade efficiently, this could look very good for them.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? B Gaming, they've still got lots of damage on the field and lots of guns on the field. That's what we always say. You know, it doesn't matter how low the tank is, as long as it's still got 1 HP left, then it can still put damage out. And that's particularly true of these T95s. They just deal so much damage.
Oh, yeah.
And Tacky, I mean, he's looking very healthy there in that AMX 50B. Playing a little bit safe, though.
Well, he's got to be careful. He's going to get shot up as well. OBOV's in a terrible position. If they realize that he literally is by himself, Tacky, I think he's wised up to it. Maybe Sphinx can do something to prevent Tacky from getting away for free, and already he's doing some damage.
Tacky there. Oh, he actually goes for the reload.
Oh, this could be bad. I think Sphinx, he's out for blood right now. He's going for the play. He might be able to catch Tacky while he's sleeping, and a great angle from OBOV is going to cop him a shot here. He's got to be careful, though. Yep. Power has fallen.
Yeah, Yusuf Shampao goes down to the Type 5, but look at this. Tacky, he can't do anything against Sphinx. Sphinx getting the reload happening now. One more shot he's got.
There we go.
Takes him out.
Yeah, I think Horsemen, they've turned this one around. In the end of the day, they had the more resilient attack right there, and it looked good for B Gaming. They had the tank advantage, but the HP just too heavily in favor of Horsemen, and they picked their targets well. They covered themselves. They made sure that no one was getting shot up in the back, and that's exactly how you have to play these very delicate situations.
Yeah, exactly. And Tiltil Matilda and that T95, I don't think he's going to be able to carry the remaining 3 members of B Gaming through anything. It might have even been a bit of HE directed at him, as that was not a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, that's all that Horsemen need to clean up these last few remaining members. Archon taking down Tiltil.
It's the way the vanilla Bicky crumbles, Alex.
Yep, exactly.
Ruku-san, last player left alive for B Gaming, and despite the situation that they were in, the communications have sounded pretty upbeat. They know they still have a chance at this, so hopefully this one hasn't rained too heavily on the parade here. First round on the attack, actually, going to Horsemen, and we've seen both teams kind of struggle with the attacking sides at the moment, so if Horsemen are able to pull off the attack win on Himmels, we've got a strong defense ahead of them as well.
Yeah, exactly. Horsemen are much stronger on the defensive side of Himmelsdorf, so not surprising at all to see, well, it won't be surprising at all to see them win the defense, but it's still ahead of us. Right now, that is going to be the last shot, directed onto Mr. Rickersam to take us down in that one. And yeah, pretty simple win there from the guys on Horsemen. Look, they picked the right tanks. B Gaming, I didn't really rate their tank picks too well. B Gaming didn't trade effectively either. Yeah.
And the T-59 is just not being the firepower that B Gaming needed to get through there. They got the first kill onto Spencer, and they were thinking, oh, this is pretty good. They take a tank off the map, and maybe they've opened it up. That was a light tank, though. At the end of the day, once Horsemen had recognized that they were down a gun, they were down a man, they just kind of turtled themselves, watching each other's back, making sure that none of these high damage dealing tanks on the side of B Gaming could do their job.
Yeah, well, there you go. That was pretty much it from the Horsemen. And look, I mean, I think that B Gaming, maybe they could have tried something else like a hill push.
Maybe.
You know, thrown, sorry, not an actual hill push with their entire team, but maybe they could have, you know, sent 1 or 2 tanks up the hill to try and get a little bit more control there, and then, you know, use that to gain some further control down the map, you know, around the bottom of the banana, because of course we did see that great flank that Sphinx had. Sphinx was behind the AMX 50B on the banana.
Yeah, it was looking like Tacky was going to turn that around for B Gaming, but
exactly.
Yeah, Sphinx's positioning, like you're mentioning, just perfect.
Yeah, and I think Tacky there as well, that might have been a bit of a mistake, because we saw Tacky when he was in that AMX 50B and he had the full clip loaded, and he was thinking, he was taking a lot of time. He was like, oh, do I push out here? Do I push out here? He knew that there was a bat chat around, but what he should have actually done, he chose to go the direction of the mouse. What he should have actually done is just driven straight towards the bat chat.
Was damaged.
Driven around the corner, and clipped out Sphinx.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to recognize that in time. And wow, a lot of Horsemen members up on the top here. Usa Shampao doing work once again. Rukusema at 113. He tried to do his best, but the Mousers just too powerful. Too powerful.
Pretty much. So there we go. At the end of the day, not looking too good for B Gaming. Yusashan, he always gives it a crack, but not enough to carry them through. Nandesu in that Type 5 heavy. Pretty good little damage number there for him in that Japanese Tier 10 heavy with the dirt gun. I always like seeing the Type 5 heavy. You know, even though it doesn't have that many tanks to kind of shoot at, that'll deal a lot of damage to, it's still quite reliable, you know. Still ding a few shots. I think the Type 5 heavy has one of the highest average damage blocked in the league so far at about 1400. So it's a reliable, sturdy tank, and unfortunately down the bottom there, Muller in that T95 only getting 2 shots through out of 6.
Ooh, that's no good.
Matil as well, only really getting 2 shots through, maybe 2 and 1 kill. Hokyao, I'm not surprised to see the E100 down there. Like, I think that was the only weak link in the Horsemen's lineup, that E100. But yeah, apart from that, worked out well for them.
Yeah, unfortunately, Spencer, he got completely obliterated at the start of the game when we were in the B Gaming listening, and that was kind of what rejuvenated them, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be.
Nice.
And then the rest of the game, not so nice. Look, that's going to be the first half of Himmelsdorf done. 5-2 at the moment for Horsemen. This is normally where we would throw to a break, Alex, and bring in our next team, but this is not meant to be. We're playing best of 13 tonight, so if you guys missed the top of the show, that's how these playoffs are coming down here. So first team to 7 essentially here in Horsemen. They're on a very good track to do so. Currently up 5-2 in the series, so they need 1 win on Himmels on the defensive side, which is better than 1 win on Ruinberg, the next map up. They take it, they get that ticket to Taiwan, their own backyard, and they still have their seeding game against Karen Tiger later on tonight, though.
Yes, exactly. So, look, it's a good start here from the guys. Look, I think that Horsemen, if they can close it out on the next map, which is Ruinberg, that's a possibility for them. The issue is that they're not actually that great at Ruinberg, so particularly the Ruinberg attack. And after looking at B Gaming's defense on Himmelsdorf, it's not actually too bad.
Yeah.
And particularly B Gaming's defense on steps, which was quite good. So moving on to Ruinberg, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see this go 1-1.
On Himmels or Ruin, sorry?
On Ruinberg, once we move on to that.
Yeah, probably. It all depends on which round do Horsemen win first, right? Because if they win the first, if it goes 1-1, but they're winning the first one, it will never go 1-1.
Yeah, well, exactly.
So of course, B Gaming, they need to come out swinging on Ruinberg, and then they still have Prokhorovka and should go all the way Muravanka, and that's just so Horseman favoured at the moment.
Yes, well, it could be very tricky. Could be very tricky, I think, for B Gaming because of that. Lots of these maps do really just favour Horsemen through and through. You know, if we end up getting to Prokhorovka, that's not going to be a great map for B Gaming because Horsemen have a 75% win rate on the defensive side. They're generally a better team on it, and I don't know, unless B Gaming pull off some sort of cheesy just 4 Mousers. Like essentially the equivalent of steps. Maybe that's all they need to do. Who knows?
Well, look, they're down 5-2 at the moment. They need to make the dream run, get 5 wins on the board against Horsemen if they want a chance at getting that golden ticket. Because right now, it's not looking good. It's looking like Horsemen, superior team at the moment. They've shown it time and time again. They've had a few blunders, a few slip-ups here and there where B Gaming have been able to clinch out a win. Didn't expect to see it on steps. Mines had that one in mind. I think you're right, Ruin. If we get there and B Gaming get the win on first, obviously we'll go 1-1. But that's the only map that I see them getting around on coming through. I think Himmels, it's going to go up to 6-2 favouring Horsemen. And depending on who gets the first round Ruin, doubt we'll see anything past that.
Yeah. I mean, look, it would be nice to see a bit of Prokhorovka between these two teams. You know, the Horsemen can play Prokhorovka pretty interestingly. Sometimes, you know, they might pick an S-tank or something like that. We do see a few of those other different tanks picked on Prokhorovka, but at the end of the day, we probably won't get that far ahead. And, well, I think we're getting a little bit far ahead as well, talking about Prokhorovka. So
still got another half of Himmels.
Exactly. We've still got another half of Himmels. So why don't we have a little bit of a think about what tank picks these guys will be locking in this next half. Of course, we did just see those T95s.
That's true.
From B Gaming. I think the Horsemen wouldn't do too badly to go some of those T95s, to go some of those T124s. Those American tank destroyers, very, very good on Himmelsdorf. You know, they've got such high alpha damage. They can trade with the Mausers. You know, lots of them have that really high penetration value on the guns. And, you know, we've said that penetration, now that the Mausers are coming in and so popular, penetration is actually a much more valuable stat than it's been before in WGL APAC. So, you know, that's where those high pen guns of the American TDs really come into their own.
Yeah, and depending on whether or not Horsemen decide to roll out with a few of them, could be a detriment if they're not respecting the B Gaming lineup as well. Because we have seen B Gaming, they have struggled a little bit with angling their armors on the Mausers here. So maybe Horsemen think that they don't need a couple of tank destroyers here. Maybe they can just win the mouse off. And so far, that's proven to be true in pretty much every map that we've seen. So, I don't know. Horsemen, I feel like they're onto a good thing right now. They don't really need to experiment.
You're right. You're right. I think they don't really need to go too crazy. And from memory, yeah, the Horsemen, I don't think they've been the ones that have gone for any of those super crazy strats on Himmelsdorf. I mean, we think about teams like Meltdown, you know, who obviously aren't playing, but they're the sort of team which would make a bit of a crazier strat on Himmelsdorf. Obviously, TCZ, you know, when TCZ won against B Gaming, when TCZ won a few rounds against DL Gaming on Himmelsdorf, they were the ones pulling out the crazy, in my eyes, really good strats. But here we go. Not going to be anything crazy from the Horsemen. Super vanilla from their Mausers, WZs. IS4, the FE215B is a little bit different. I actually don't like the FE215B because I think it's bad. Like, it just doesn't brawl that well. You know,
Sure.
It's a sniper. Like, meh. B Gaming though, Mausers 113, AMX 50B, T110E4, which is nice. I like the T110E4 actually. It's a good attacking TD because of course obviously it does have that semi-swivelable turret as opposed to something like the T110E3 or T95.
Here we go, rolling out. Horsemen currently up 4-2, and Hockey are really struggling to get out of the base right now. He's maybe making a case for why the FE215B isn't that good.
Maybe.
Well, the pilot anyway, but B Gaming, they still have a very long and treacherous journey back up the leaderboard in terms of this game. And Muller, he's just going to be scouting out the castle. Hiroshi kind of hanging on around the banana, and the triple mouse threat slowly but surely moving its way through the village.
Yep, there we go. So Eustace Champagne, Colin and Happiness are going to be moving through there. We've got Hockey in the 215B. Just moving his turret around, looking around, seeing what he can find. 215B, obviously it's not the most mobile heavy tank, but it's not super slow. And it's not a bad idea to put him up there in that little pillbox. You know, it's got a pretty good turret, the 215B, so he can try and snipe some stuff out.
Muller, he has been spotted by Nico Best Waifu, so he's going to have to roll his way out of that. Doesn't want to brawl with a WZ-111, especially when he doesn't know what's round the corner. And you can see Horsemen actually, they're set up quite a defensive line down the banana. Kind of expecting that out of B Gaming, but we know that B Gaming going to go for the one flag.
Yep, we know that. So B Gaming right now can be slowly moving their tanks near that one flag. Hockey obviously pretty much invulnerable there, not going to be able to get spotted. Horseman's defense is actually a little bit light on towards the one flag. Riku Sam running over a few barrels there. And, oh, Nandesu in that IS4. Trying to get the shot. Oh, doesn't get it though. Not too sure whether that was... Looked like HE, but maybe not. Anyways, these two guys are going to be duking it out, as in the meantime, the Horsemen actually looks like they're going to be pushing through the banana line and maybe going aggressive on the defense.
This could be good if they get the flank onto Super Hiroshi here. He could be in a lot of trouble, and looks like Sphinx will be leading the charge here. Gorilla, Hokkien, and OBOV slowly coming up the rear, because Nandesu, he's not having a great time right now, and he's spotted out both the Maus making their way on through.
Yeah, Nandesu isn't having a good time at all, is he? I think he's getting a bit of HE spammed at him, which is never fun. When you're in an IS4, he's doing a good job of kind of angling his stuff, though. one's only going to deal 64 damage from Riku-san. Now, this is a scenario where it would be really nice to have a Type 5 heavy here. You know, just derp him.
How do Horsemen want to react to this? Because they've actually called off the banana push for now, it seems, and they're making their way on back. They're just going to sack Nandasu right now. He's being tracked. Riku-Sam gets shot down by Archon, so he's slowly making his way up. Finally, some damage getting traded, and Nandasu slowly getting chipped down. It's going to be tracked once again. Yeah, there we go. Nandas is not having a fun time here. He needs some backup. I think that Horsemen really need to try and help him out. And stop this push, because you don't want to let B Gaming's tanks here get all the way up onto towards the one flag, you know, essentially unscathed. Oh, Sphinx, he's been shot a bit by Hiroshi and Taki, it seems, and now, slowly but surely, Horsemen, they're moving on in through the courtyard here, but I think they've left Nandasu out to dry, and he's just getting tracked after track. Got no way of escaping in this scenario, so probably wants to get as much damage dealt as possible before he inevitably falls, and trying to use Riku-Sam as a portable shield. They're not going to happen. Shot should be able to do it. Oop, yep. There we go. That's going to be it. Riku-Sam taking down Nandesu. That's a good little early kill. But Yusashan power's actually looking pretty low as well. And we remember how much of an impact Yusashan has for B Gaming here. You know, if he goes down, that could be pretty crucial for the Horsemen to get that kill. Taki, though, he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I don't think he's going to find himself to safety anytime soon. Hiroshi and Taki both in a terrible ways at the moment. There's going to be 2 kills getting traded over. Those Horsemen pick up that one. You can see Archon, he's been left out to dry a bit by the team, but he's just going to do his own thing at the moment. Yeah, there we go. That AMX 1390 there. Muller not having too much of a hard time taking... How do Horsemen do it? They always find an avenue back in the game, Alex. They start off a little bit shaky, but it feels like their mid-game rotations always get behind B Gaming's frontal line. Yeah, look, things like that. We just saw the T124 essentially brawling in melee combat with one of the Horsemen tanks. That should never happen, you know, so props to the Horsemen for getting those good rotations, for getting those good movements on towards... Oh, Hokyo's on fire. He might actually just burn to death here, and he does. That could be huge if B Gaming turn it around, because it's a 4 versus 4 at the moment. And but losing the mouse, that's never good. And Gorilla and OBOV are still so healthy. Yeah. Yeah, it's the big issue. Archon does actually go down. Didn't even know he was alive. He was on a little HP on the left. Either. But now it's really a 4v4. So, Riku-Sam... 4v2. Happiness falls off the field. Riku-Sam, Muller, and Muller's in the 1390, so realistically there's not a lot, if anything, he can do right now. So once Riku-Sam goes down, there we go. Should be game. Yep. And of course they are on the attack B Gaming, so they can't just run away, wait it out. They can't do anything. So they're going to be going down pretty soon, I do believe. Horsemen going to be making it E6-2 after some very nice rotation. Match point here. Horsemen taking it. Riku-Sam is going to go down, and looks like that's going to be Himmelsdorf 2-0 over to the Horsemen. Thought B Gaming could have been in a shot getting one round. It is Himmels. It can go either way on a good day here, but I feel like B Gaming, their good day is behind them now. Yes. Unfortunately, B Gaming there, I mean, look, they showed up okay on steps. They gave it a good crack, but they're on Himmelsdorf. There was nothing innovative, really, from B Gaming. Nothing too crazy. Nothing the Horsemen haven't encountered before. Yeah. So they always seem to have an idea of how they were going to deal with it. You know, it's like that pushing onto the IS-4 that B Gaming did. You know, they lit it up with HE shells, and they just took so much time to take him down. About like 2 minutes, it felt. Exactly. That you don't need to muck around with HE shells in that scenario. Just load some premium, drive up towards him, and take him out. You know, just don't muck around in doing it, because having that IS-4 take so long to go down, it meant that B Gaming couldn't actually get on the cap for quite a while. So if they just pushed up and taken the IS-4 down, bam. Then they could have just got 3 tanks on the cap, put a lot of cap pressure on, and the Horsemen, while they did make a good rotate, it wasn't a super fast rotate, so maybe that would have put some more pressure on the Horsemen. Maybe that would have been enough for B Gaming to kind of tilt them off balance. Yeah, it was really looking like Horsemen wanted to go for the push through the banana, then they called it off, and then once the IS-4 died, they went back in for the fight, and they got a few good kills. They were able to catch them off guard. It always just seems like Horsemen, they know how to react after the opening push out of B Gaming, and they're in the right places at the right times, getting their shots down, angling their armors better, what have you, just playing better World of Tanks tonight.
Yep, pretty much. I think that is it. And well, after that one, heading out with a match point in our next map. I mean, that's pretty exciting here for the Horsemen. Let's take a look back and what they did right in that one.
And look, they just took too long to kill the IS-4.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
They finally got him, and look how much damage Ustashan Power took from that entire exchange. And then we saw Horsemen, they were able to come up behind and find Hiroshi, find Taki, and these guys were just completely stuck between a rock and a mouse place. And there goes Taki, he falls soon after. And it was looking kind of close. He's on 4 HP, that's why we didn't notice it, Alex.
There you go. Oh, that's funny. But Riku Sam there in the 113, 4,000 damage dealt. Pretty good, but not good enough, unfortunately. Happiness in the mouse 4K as well. Sphinx actually in that WZ111 did 2.7K, which is pretty nice. Super Hiroshi with the T124 not doing too badly. 2.3K, I think that's validated that pick.
Yep.
But
feels like everyone's taken turns in stepping up on B Gaming right now. They're not consistent as a whole. 1 or 2 players are popping off here and there, but the other ones are just, a bit dormant. Not the case when it comes to Horsemen. They've all consistently been putting up massive damage numbers, even Spencer as well.
Yeah, even Spencer. So Nico best waifu there, 2k damage in the WZ111, and Nardes, even though he got pressured so much, only 1375 damage out, but you can't really blame him. Yusei Shanpao barely got any more, and he was, he was in the thick of things. So yeah, not great there from the B Gaming guys.
Yeah, Taki in the 15B really struggled to get even 500 damage.
Taki in the 50B. Taki has not actually been playing too well tonight.
No, he's having a rough night.
He's having a very rough night.
It's unfortunate that it's tonight. One of these, probably the most important night for B Gaming.
Exactly, it is the most important night for B Gaming. They're staring down the barrel of a chance to go to the WGL APAC Season 2 finals.
Yep.
To play for a prize pool of $100,000 US, in Taipei, to do their country proud, and it's just not working out for them tonight at all.
Look, they've done better than we've given them credit for originally. We thought this was going to be a 7-1 victory over Horsemen, but they've got those 2 rounds on the field, so it's not completely out of the woods yet. They do have the possibility on Ruinberg, at least, to get 1 more round and at least make it a 7-3 loss.
Yeah, well, or pull all the way back in.
Oh, wouldn't that be the dream, Alex?
It would be the dream.
If they win 2-0 Proc on Ruin, I don't know how they'd fare on Prokhorovka. Then Muro as the tiebreaker. I don't know. They have their work cut out for them, and it's long, laborious work, Alex. A lot of endurance and a lot of mental fortitude to be able to take this series back. Where Ruin, Horsemen, they just need 1 round on Ruinberg.
I just need 1 exactly. And look, the Horsemen, they don't have a good Ruinberg attack win rate. So if the Horsemen here just start out on the defense, then I think we might be able to seal the deal. That's what they be wanting, and I reckon we've definitely got to jump in the horse. We'll have to jump in with the Horsemen. We got to just as they get the win.
I want to hear that victory, because it would mean so much for these guys.
Exactly.
Playing in Taiwan, in their home country, home field advantage, pretty much everything they could ask for. It'd be like a dream come true for these guys. So, guys in the back room, make it happen. I want to hear that Horseman listening just for the very end.
Yeah, that's right. But of course, they have to end it first.
Well, they do. They do. They still have Ruinberg up, and like you said, their attack not so great. A lot of teams do struggle with Ruinberg on attack, unless, of course, you count those really cheeky 1 flag wins that we've seen time and time again.
Well, yeah, exactly. The old cheeky mouse push up to the 1 flag, or well, there's lots of other options on Ruinberg attack. We've seen CDC strats before on Ruinberg attack. We've seen this, that, and everything on the Ruinberg attack.
It's when teams don't do something cheesy, I feel like they struggle, though. That's the thing. It's a rough map to get a good attacking push. I think Karen Tiger had it down pat for a while, back when the mouse was still a
like
strong
a
tank,
pick.
but not, it was a pocket pick, right? But now that it's in pretty much every single home, in every single house, right?
Yeah.
There's teams are struggling. They're picking it on attack, they're picking it on defense, and it's just such an arduous journey from one side of the map to the other on Ruinberg, especially if you don't want to get lit up. You have to go all the way back down to spawn, then all the way out the other side, and that just burns through the time that the attackers really just don't have.
Yep, pretty much. And Ruinberg, of course, it is a very asymmetrical map. We do see the defensive side play very differently to the attacking side. I think defense is definitely the favoured side in the APAC region on Ruinberg. So far, like many maps actually, particularly after the mouse changes as well. So we definitely be expecting the defensive side to have a slight little bit of an advantage coming into the first half of this one. And that will be the Horsemen.
Horsemen, this is the best chance they have of shutting it out right now. What have B Gaming gone with? They go for the double mouse, double 113, 2 bat 25s, and IU251. But Horsemen, they're bringing you that FV215B, Alex. They want to make it work. They want to prove you wrong.
Yeah, they're loving the FV215B tonight, and it's an old school pick from the Horsemen, and they used to love picking it, particularly in Season 1. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still not convinced. I think the FV215B's win rate this season is 47%. Yeah, 47%. So
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's not that good either. You know?
It's
like
very lukewarm.
it's suboptimal. So that's basically how I feel about it. Lukewarm.
Oh, here we are. Horsemen, 1 round away. Match point from securing themselves an invitation to the grand finals. It's going to be live in Taiwan. These guys, they've got to be excited.
Finals. That is it. So happiness there in that batch at 25T. Going to be looking out towards the 1 flag. And not much going to be happening there, but B Gaming going to be going for the 2 flag attack, which, look, I don't mind that. I think the 2 flag attack can work quite well. I think it's better chance of that working than a 1 flag push.
Yeah.
So, you know, not a bad start to things for the B Gams.
Well, you can see they're getting their mouths slowly but surely into position, and Horsemen, they've spread out quite far around every nook and cranny of the map, because the last thing they want is a team clinching away a cheeky 1 flag victory. And I'm sure they've gone back and watched the replays and seen the teams can pull it off here, but once the double mouse does get spotted out, you can see Gorilla and Undersu have already begun to make their move.
Right now, Gorilla and Undersu moving up
I don't know if I like what Gorilla's doing here, because that's a mouse out of the fight.
It's going to be slow. It's going to be really slow. Yeah, I've never really heard of the flanking mouse. Or,
No.
Or the flouse, as it's known. I mean, maybe Gorilla's inventing something new here, but
I feel like Nundersu's behind him. He's trying to push him to go faster.
Yeah, probably. Exactly. Uses Shampoo, he's already taken a bit of a shot. Tiltil Matil as well.
Gotta be careful here.
Yeah.
The Mousers of B Gaming are going to be migrating.
Oh, you see, that's the nice thing about the FV215B. It does have the accuracy to be able to do shots like that, so that's nice. I like that from Hokiao. And obviously, I'm guessing it's one of his favourite tanks as well. Otherwise, they just wouldn't pick it. So, yeah, I'm going to be seeing B Gaming getting on towards that 2 flag right now. The Flousers have managed to flank around and get in towards that F line. I don't actually think any of the B Gaming tanks are up there in the F line just yet, so it hasn't really done anything.
Right, Flouse in position. Prepare to execute the Flouse maneuver. Horsemen, they're trying their best to get on in there, and already Tiltil, he's so darn low. Usashan is the one for B Gaming who will be getting the majority of the damage on top of him, but they've got the cap down to 20 seconds. I don't think it's going to be that for much longer, though, because Hokiao getting those free resets, like you mentioned, the accuracy that comes out until Tiltil goes down. Nundersu picks him up. B Gaming of all sorts right now.
Yeah, there we go. And Tiltil, oh, with him going down, it's going to be the tier 8 down for B Gaming, but I don't think Hokiao's actually trading out too well here in that FV215B. We do need to see these Mousers, Nundesu, and the other one there for the Horsemen come in and really start getting some damage off on towards these guys in the caps, because the rest of B Gaming aren't actually too damaged. You know, Usashan power there, 1600 HP. Colin's still quite healthy, and we do need to see some more damage coming out of the Horsemen to really, you know, get a leg up on these guys in the cap.
Yeah, Usashan power just getting completely obliterated from every single angle you can see right now. He has to force himself back. 450 damage onto him. Another good shot coming out of Hokiao, and he's pretty much resigned to hiding behind the buildings like a scared little IU251. He goes down as a mouse off the field. Horsemen, they're looking great. They're looking on fire. They're looking like they could be a team competing at the finals, Alex.
Yeah, it's seeming a little bit like that right now, Max. And Sphinx in the bash chat, he's just trading it out with Happiness. Happiness trying to keep the hope alive here for B Gaming in his bash chat, doing everything he can to outtrade Mr. Sphinx, and he's doing a good job of it so far. But right now, this just doesn't seem like a clear path to victory for B Gaming. The Horsemen, they're just restricting their control around the map. Happiness and Taki, this could be a last chance flank for B Gaming.
They need to pull it off. They need to do something because Shinazaka, he's the one in the firing line now. Horsemen, they found out the 1/3 team. Spencer might be the only casualty for Horsemen if he doesn't get himself to safety soon. And Happiness and Sphinx. Sphinx in a 2 versus 1 right now. He should go down here. It's all about how much damage he can get before he falls. But at what cost for B Gaming? Because Shinazaka has fallen. The happiness is going to go down very low, but they are able to get Sphinx in the meantime.
Yeah, there we go. Happiness still alive after that one. They do take down Sphinx, but look at that as well. Hokiao, he's so damaged. He's got his commander damage, his loaders damage as well. Does go down, but B Gaming, they've only got 4 tanks left. The HP advantage is over 6,000 in favor of the Horsemen right now, just about. And well, I think we could be seeing the Horsemen heading to the WGL APAC Season 2 finals, Max.
Yeah, 2 tanks left on the field. You can see Happiness, he's so damn low, and here's Nandesu to completely dash their dreams of a cap victory. He doesn't miss that shot though, but still a lot of time to play with before they lose out. And Nandesu going to be slowly but surely making his way around, is able to get the reset. That's pretty much going to be lights out for B Gaming as Horsemen. 2 tanks left alive before B Gaming for Happiness, down to 182 HP, 1.3 for Taki, but he's on the reload now, and this should be it, Alex.
That is going to be it. There we go. Archon going to be taking down Taki, and that is it.
A huge, well-deserved congratulations to Horsemen. They get themselves that ticket all the way to the finals. Not so far for them to travel, so they might have a little bit of an advantage coming into this. They're going to be well rested and hopefully have a great set of games ahead of them. But of course, there's still another match. They've got Karen Tiger up next later on in the night, where they have to play for seeding to see who can avoid EL Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. But there we go. Well played to the Horsemen. A very well-deserved victory there over B Gaming. Look, we all thought that it was going to turn out that way, but the Horsemen, they've solidified our thoughts. They played really well tonight. Standard stuff, but that's exactly what they needed to do. A 7-2 victory against B Gaming. They've got to be very happy with that, no doubt about it.
Yep, that just affirms our belief that they were the better team in this. But of course, we have to give congratulations to B Gaming to making it this far, getting themselves a shot at least. More than we can say for some. 7-2, not the best of margins for B Gaming, but we did give them that 7-1, so still props for them to be able to win some of those uphill fights. They looked great. It could have very well been a 7-3.
It could have.
Given Ghost Town had gone a little bit better for B Gaming, so I'm still very happy with how B Gaming played tonight. They definitely showed that they're still a team to be reckoned with and a team to be feared, so hopefully for Season 3 they come back even stronger.
Hopefully. Absolutely. So, look, very, very good stuff there from the Horsemen. They do take out B Gaming, and at the end of the day, I think that it is fitting a little bit that you know, the Taiwanese-based team is going to be playing.
Wouldn't that have been a tragedy?
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, you just imagine the Horsemen guys sitting there in the audience. Exactly, sitting in the audience in their home country. Like this WGL APAC Season 2 finals, like. It is going to be the biggest finals of WGL APAC ever. You know, we've got more prize pool, got the big venue, Eco Arc. It's so much, and you know, it's going to mean so much for these guys to play there.
And you can tell how much it did as Happiness had to be a little bit careful there. Didn't want to go too close to the moon, but look, I think you're right, and obviously it just meant more to B Gaming and. Horsemen rather, I'm sure it meant a lot to B Gaming too, but Horsemen, you have to give them huge props for how well they played tonight. They look like a team that could potentially rival EL in efficiency.
They did, absolutely. You know, they've been playing quite well tonight. I think Hokiao's been playing really well. They've been really utilising that FE215B that's generally speaking, you know, been doing its job. The Amex 50B, Archon 4.5 34k damage. That's pretty nice. OBOV and the mouse. You know, the Horsemen tonight have really shown that they can play the mouse quite effectively. Nandesu, he's been playing quite well as well. So it's been a team effort here from the Horsemen tonight.
Yeah, really good stuff out of Horsemen. I'm really excited to see what they can deliver for us at the finals. And of course, B Gaming, commiserations to them. They had a great battle. Unfortunately, they just stepped up at different times. We pretty much saw everyone from B Gaming have a shot at doing well tonight, but look, Usa Power doing 0, right? That just can't be happening. He's a heavy hitter for that team, sure. Some games we saw him go off, but unfortunately it's not every single game, and I feel like if B Gaming get their consistency issues worked out player for player, they're going to be such a force to be reckoned with in the future.
Yeah, 100%. And they could one day return to their Season 1 greatness, as you know they showed last year, but this season, unfortunately, they really have, let's be honest, taken a step down.
Yeah.
You know, one of the few teams that, compared to last year's performance, they really did just fall off a little bit. And it's disappointing to see from B Gaming, you know, whether it's partially because of their roster changes that they made at the start of this season or just less practice. I don't know. At the end of the day, they have, you know, not been able to achieve what they achieved last season, and that's going to hurt.
No, it's a damn shame, and I'm sure they're feeling it even more so now than ever. Sure, getting themselves all the way down into 6th spot was never a good position, but it was still enough for them to live the dream and make it to finals. But now we're seeing that dream completely be extinguished here, so I'm sure they're feeling it more than ever at the moment. And like you said, they were a team that made it to the finals last season, so for them not to do it again, that's got to hurt. That's got to hopefully light the fire, rekindle the flame, and have them even a stronger team in the future.
Yes, absolutely. That would be great to see a super strong B Gaming.
Oh, wouldn't it be great
again in the future? You know, look, they've got some good players. They've got some players that have done it before. Yusa Power, he's a star.
He really is.
He really is, yeah. And I feel as though lots of what holds B Gaming back is that they're just a little bit afraid to experiment with stuff, you know. And when we think back to Season 1, what really made them win against, you know, like some of those EL Gaming matches they played on Mines and etc., is that they did actually experiment a little bit more. This season, I feel so they've been a lot more defensive, a lot more passive, you know, just not quite taking it as much.
Yeah, sometimes these things happen. Teams fall into a little bit of a monotonous schedule, and they're a bit of afraid to branch out, try new things. And while it can happen, while they may think, hey, it's our style, we like to just play the meta, and they try to adapt to it well. It's obvious that when they're going up against teams that there's clearly a skill margin here, it's just not going to fly anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, you know, we can take a look at the post-match stats for that last battle and see how well the guys from B Gaming did very, very shortly. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because the Horsemen did pull through that win, and I'm probably going to be expecting maybe Hokyao near the top, or Nandesu played quite well today. Some of those guys pretty high up there. Obviously for B Gaming, Yusa Power is going to be pretty high up there.
Yeah. So if you're Horsemen right now, so the last thing you want to do is have to play another series, right? You want to go out, celebrate.
Exactly.
You want to have a great time. You guys just made the Season 2 finals in your home country here, but they still have another match up against Karen Tiger to play for that seeding, whether or not they'll be going up against EL Gaming or Team Efficiency here. So they still have to sit down and stay at their computers and play one more series. But we do have the post-match stats available for you guys. And look at Horsemen, Archon, Hockey, Sphinx, Gorilla. No one can deny that they didn't have amazing games tonight.
Exactly. Look, brilliant play there from the top members of the Horsemen. And that's reflected in the scoreboard. Archon really showing up on point tonight. 2.8k average damage across all of those battles is very, very impressive. You know, we saw quite a few maps tonight. At the end of the day, you know, Ghost Town, Mine Steps, Himmelsdorf, and even half of Ruinberg. So really showing good versatility across that map pool. You know, Hokkien, Sphinx, expect those guys to be up there. Gorilla as well, pretty high up there. Riku Sam, 2.2k average damage.
Colin
not
had
too
a
bad.
great night as well.
Colin did well tonight. Colin really pulled through tonight.
I've always thought he was one of the weaker links on B Gaming, so for him to be able to step up really showed a lot of strength to come for this team, but there's a name missing right there, and it was Usa Power in that top 7, all the way down in 11th right now with Till Spencer and Shinozaka. That just cannot be happening when you were the top damage dealer in the APAC region, to now find yourself struggling to make the top 7. I wonder what's gone wrong. It's maybe he's just not good at the mouse.
Oh, it might be. Honestly, it might be that. You know, it might be that because even in those games where he did quite well in terms of the damage blocked on the mouse, he really never had that much of an impact on in terms of damage dealt, and that is an issue.
When the mouse came through, I was like, wow, Usushan's power's damage is going to skyrocket because there's so much more damage to have, but it's had the complete opposite effect. He's just tumbled down the leaderboards here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Bit of a shame, bit of a sad sight to see there for B Gaming. But look, at the end of the day, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes.
The vanilla bicky.
The vanilla bicky.
Look, but once again, a huge congratulations over to Horsemen as they get themselves that golden ticket to the final, but they still have one more game ahead of them. So celebrations are going to have to wait a bit as they have a game up against Karen Tiger as they'll play for their seeding into the final. So we're going to go to a bit of an extended 25-minute break, but when we come back, we'll bring you that series, so don't go anywhere.